Hello, Reds. Welcome along to All for United. Hello guys and welcome along to All for United on another momentous occasion. Today, fans are protesting once more against our ownership. It's Glazers out. I've got my All for United Glazers out tee on today. I know you guys can help us. Look, there's fans around the world who can't get to Manchester today. And ultimately, the most noise we can make is on social media to make sure the media world and fans worldwide are doing everything they can to get hashtag Glazers out trending and these Glazer out live protest streams trending on YouTube. The more noise we can make together as a collective, I'm not just on about All for United here as a YouTube channel, the Football Terrace, the United Stand, Stretford Paddock, the more noise we all make, the bigger difference it will tell. And trust me, people see this. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to like the video. Simple catch here. If you want the Glazers out, like this video. I want you to click on the share button under this video and share it as far and wide as you can. If you're watching on Twitter, retweet the video. If you're watching on Facebook, share the video. Let's get Manchester United fans around the world making some noise. And the best thing is for those of you at home at the moment who can't make it to Manchester, can't make it to Old Trafford today, stick with us. We're going to open the phone line so you can direct exactly what you want to say to the Glazers live on this stream. Get your friends watching, share it, get involved. There is a lot going on at the moment at Old Trafford. I think what I'm going to do quickly is we're going to actually cross over now quickly to Old Trafford. I know Wesley's at Old Trafford and Benny's at Old Trafford as well. Wesley, let me quickly bring you in. It's really loud, mate. Really loud. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can just about hear you, mate.
Good to see you, man. If you want, do you want to jump back in 10 minutes and come and have a chat with us? Because we want to see that crowd build. What does it look like at the moment? How's it looking at Old Trafford?
It's absolutely epic. I'm going to have to put my earpods in a minute so I can hear you. So coming back in 2 minutes will be great. But honestly, at the moment, it's incredible and it's just building. There's loads of energy. Everyone's got their voices, their voices up loud today. It's brilliant. So, yeah. Come for it, really. It's good and it's growing. So if you want to grab me in 2 minutes, I'll come back on.
Come back 10:15, mate. Honestly, come back 10:15. I'll cross over. We'll speak to Benny and we'll see what's going on. He is actually right in the crowd right now that you can see. Stick your earpods and come back in 10 minutes. Cheers, bud.
No problem.
Thank you, mate. Wesley, what a legend. Thank you. Let's quickly go back over to Old Trafford. Benny is there. He's in the crowd. Look at Old Trafford. Look at the crowds. It is going off. I want to quickly bring in Connor. I want to quickly bring you in, bud. You are muted. But I want to quickly show a video that I have literally just seen on social media. The Manchester United bus literally cannot get out of the Lowry Hotel. Fans today have stormed the hotel. 2 o'clock was a decoy. And these were the scenes just a moment ago. Let me turn this volume on. Have a look at this. Manchester United fans stopping the Manchester United team bus from leaving the hotel. I mean, Connor, we heard that this protest this week was going to be bigger than last week. But looking at these scenes, how do you feel, mate? Look at these scenes.
It's brilliant, isn't it? I mean, I said last night on the show, the only way this is going to make some change is if the momentum keeps gathering and we keep pushing this along. So to see this and also it was good idea getting this in front of the Manchester United Liverpool game. I think it was Stu that made the point last night on the show. This is going to be shown all around the world. It's the biggest game in English football. Manchester United versus Liverpool. This is going to be shown everywhere. The Glazers are going to see this. I mean, look at the crowd that are out there at the moment, and it's only just come up to 2 o'clock. I wouldn't be surprised if this rumbles on for a few more hours. See the game delayed, and then that has an even bigger voice. Like you just showed there, the Manchester United team bus and obviously potentially the Liverpool team bus as well cannot get to the game, and that's going to have an even bigger impact and even more eyes on this protest. So it's brilliant to see, and it's good to see United fans coming together, because there was a lot of speculation about and a few arguments here and there about, oh, my protest is better than your protest and so on. This is what we need. We need everyone to turn up to every protest you possibly can, no matter if it's a few hundred people, 10,000 people, whatever it is. Everyone needs to go to every protest they possibly can, and it's brilliant to see.
I completely agree. Let's listen in. Do you know what? Whenever I go to listen in, it always goes quiet. This happened last week as well. But Benny's on the ground for us today. Benny's not blessed with height. So Benny's trying Do you know what I love? I absolutely love about this protest today is that you fans around the world can really stand in solidarity with those at Old Trafford. You can do that right now. You can do it one of two ways. Get in the live chat, put hashtag Glazers out, your message to the Glazers, and we'll do what we're doing right now for Doc United. We'll get your message on screen. You will be featured on this show. If you want to pay for a super chat, pay for a super chat. But ultimately, I don't care. Put your messages into the live chat, which basically pushes what you would love to say right now to the Glazers, and we will get it on screen. I promise. You can also call in, which is very unique. If you want to call us from anywhere around the world, I can get you live on this show with me and Connor and the other contributors. It's charged at your local network rate, okay? Your local network rate. So you can call me on 0114 360 9434. That is a UK number, so make sure you put the UK dial code from your country. That is 114 360 9434. I'll keep that on the screen for a second if you want to ring in. And when people start ringing in, ultimately, I will, of course, come over to some of the calls and we'll let you lead the show and tell the Glazers exactly what you think of them. There's loads of messages coming in. Oh, we've frozen a bit. And I must also say, guys, because there's so many people at Old Trafford, we may cut in and out of streams because ultimately 4G around Old Trafford is shite. Any match going fan will tell you that. Yeah. And anyone who lives in Manchester will tell you that. So it may cut in and out a little bit, but we will do everything we can to make sure we get pictures back to you. Look at this. Love this from Rohan. We want our club back. Hashtag Glazers out. Connor, obviously, you obviously with that 100%. John said, would love to have been there today. You were there last week, Connor. How much do you wish you were there today as well?
Yeah, if I didn't live 3 hours away, I'd have gone up again. So it is a shame. But it's like I said, you go to whichever one that you can get to and just keep these protests rolling on. It's not about which protest you went to and, oh, mine's bigger than yours kind of thing. It's a protest. And we all want the same thing. So, yeah, I'm amazed to see the turnout already today. That's good to see as well. Last week's turnout was good, considering there was speculation that not a lot of people would turn up to that as well. So that was good. And like I said, it's the only thing that is going to make change is momentum. There was one last week. There's one today. We've seen obviously what's happening over at the Lowry Hotel, the impact that could have on today's game. If I think it was Doc or somebody put it in the comments. The game potentially being delayed. If the players can't get there, then the game could potentially be delayed, and that's more eyes on the story. So, yeah, it's brilliant to see, and all these people, all from around the world, like you've just brought up some of the comments there. Mm-hmm. We all want the same thing. We all want the same message, and like I said, the only way to do it's momentum on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, tweeting it, putting on a YouTube comment, a YouTube show, being at the ground, whatever it is. It will make the difference in the end.
Yeah, and can I also just say on that too, I think ultimately as well, where we are right now, guys, hit like on this video, share it about. Let's get more people from around the world watching. And of course, I'll give you that number again to dial in. But ultimately, you can get in the live chat and you know, come in. And Stu, you're right. We're keeping the pressure on. We're doing that right now in solidarity with everyone at Old Trafford in Manchester currently protesting on behalf of us all. We're doing a virtual protest here. We're going to get a live feed from Old Trafford as well. That's going on. But whilst we wait to get Benny back in from Old Trafford, he's just refreshing and reloading. He'll be back in a second. Let's quickly share a video that has just been posted on Twitter of the scenes at Old Trafford right now. We'll go over to these here. Oh, wait a second. I haven't shared audio, which is really bad of me. We'll go over to that video now, and we'll keep doing this in between as well, because obviously there's some fantastic videos going up online. Check this out. So this has just been posted on Twitter just a second ago.
We want Glazers! We want Glazers! We want Glazers!
Green and gold smoke absolutely everywhere. Look at this picture as well, which has just been posted up of the scenes at the moment at Old Trafford. How did you deal with the smoke last week, Connor?
I'm glad I had a mask, that's for sure. Obviously, it helps with COVID. I mean, it looks brilliant, and it's you know, it's like I said, it brings more eyes to it, doesn't it? Rather than just having people around. Yeah, it's brilliant to see. As long as, you know, it stays peaceful and you know, it doesn't get out of hand and violent, then yeah, I'm all for it. But yeah, definitely take your mask with you for COVID, and if you're stood next to one of these things.
Well, we reported earlier on that the team bus is also being stopped. So the protest happening at Old Trafford, but also there's fans outside both the hotel that Liverpool are staying in and the hotel that United players are currently staying in. The buses are being stopped. Here's the current scenes posted, I think it was 12 minutes ago at the Lowry Hotel. I mean, Connor, could we see today's game postponed? Literally, could that happen? Could that happen?
It's a strong possibility, isn't it? I mean, I've just seen some videos. The police are starting to move people away from the Lowry, and it does seem like people are starting to disperse from there. But yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, you know, it's with the amount of fans that were there. I can't estimate how many were outside the Lowry, but yeah, I mean, if it does, I'm all for that, because, like I said, it's more eyes on the story. So anything that will bring more attention to it is fantastic.
Hopefully Benny's 4G is going to be back with us in a second, and we can get the live stream back from Old Trafford. But for now, here are the current scenes. I mean, ultimately, it's going off. And I think I can speak on behalf of everyone here, where the message is clear. The Glazers, you are not welcome here anymore. You're just not welcome here. It's time to go. Enough is enough. 16 years of leeching money away from this football club. But you sold us out in 2 days. You put a shit stain, there's no other word for it, on our club's history. When my kids are older and we talk about the Champions League, naturally, the Super League conversation will come up. You sold us fans out. You see YouTube channels where you have passionate fans on talking about Manchester United all the time, now including green and gold in their logo. That's because the damage you did in 2 days is even more than that £2 billion you've taken out over the past 16 years. Enough is enough. Barak, I'm a fan since that game in Turin 99. Glazers sucked the life out of our club. Enough is enough. It really, really is. Everyone's saying hopefully the game won't be postponed. Look, just quickly, Connor, looking ahead to that game that's obviously coming up, how do you feel? Is this going to be... I mean, I don't sort of want to say, is this going to be sort of a thing for Liverpool, but how do United players, how would those players, do you think, be feeling right now watching these scenes? I'm going to bring Keane in as well, but feel free to answer the question, Connor.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I've just said in another group chat, imagine being those players, because from what I've read, that the players are fully aware of this. They were watching it from upstairs in the Lowry, so they know what's going on downstairs or down on the ground. So it'll be difficult for them. I'm sure, you know, they're used to this and the pressure and what they've seen in the media and everything else, so they'll try and block it out. But I think we saw what happened with the impact of the Super League last week, and every team that was involved didn't look brilliant. So I mean, ultimately today's game it's not got the heights of a normal Manchester United Liverpool game anyway, and this is more important for me. You know, it'd be great to beat Liverpool and knock them into the Conference League, but at the end of the day, this is more important right now. So yeah. As a player, I'm sure they'll find a way to block it out. But
of course, of course. Let's bring Wesley back in. Keane, I'll come over to you in just a second. Wesley's currently at Old Trafford. Can you hear me, bud?
Hi, mate. Yeah, I can hear you.
Mate, how do you feel? What's the atmosphere like?
Mate, the energy here is incredible. There's so many people here. It's literally everyone singing their heart out. It's so good to see everyone coming together. There's not been any trouble as such, but you know, it's a great occasion, a great day, and the crowd just keeps growing. There's so many people still coming down Matthews Way. Still many people that are on the way to Old Trafford right now. I'd probably say there's at least 5,000 probably plus here at the moment. And it's just growing. It's incredible. What a sight. What a day.
I'll tell you what, with 5,000 people currently there, Wesley, what's it going to be like with 10,000? That's what people are saying, 10,000 fans there.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. It's going to be louder because it's loud now. I've got my earpieces in, literally. They're noise. What a day. What a day for Manchester United.
Would you mind holding on there, Wesley? Is that all right? Can you show us some of the scenes, what's going on, whilst I quickly ask Keane a question? Is that all right, bud? Thank you, man. You're really helping us out because Benny's lost signal. Keane, look at those scenes, buddy. I know you're over in Ireland, aren't you? How does this make you feel as a Red?
Makes me feel so proud to see all of our fans come together, especially look, we see a lot of the time that our fan base can be divided, but to see our fan base be united by name, but also united by nature right now, all for a common goal, it's great to see. I wish I was over there with the fans over there now to be in voice with them to get these guys out. But to see the fans there now, 5,000 there, Wesley said already, and the fact there could be potentially 10,000, that's absolutely fantastic. And look, we need to push this as much as we can.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Let's go back to Wesley's audio so we can hear a little bit what's going on. Wesley, I'll randomly just put the audio in and out, bud. So I'm sorry if I flicker in between. It's just to let everyone have sort of their say. We really appreciate you jumping in because, as I said a second ago, Benny's really struggling for 4G. He's right in the middle of that crowd, and we know how shite 4G's like at Old Trafford. How are you dealing with the smoke, man? There's a lot of green and gold smoke I've seen. I can see red in the background.
Yeah, mate, there's been so much. I've got some myself. I haven't brought them out just yet. But yeah, honestly, it's great to see everyone coming together, having a good time, but making a statement to the club. We're not going to take this anymore. We want them out. We want them out now. And this today, I think, is it's a step in the right direction. It's the second protest now. We need to keep this up. We need to keep our foot on the next. Let know that we want our football club.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I can hear people there as well. Can I quickly ask you, Keane? Have you spoken to any fans? What have people said to you, or generally, how are people? Are they all peaceful? Is everything quite smooth at the moment?
Yeah, look, I've spoken to multiple fans, and the feeling is all the same. We need to get these Glazers out. I think when you look at the last 16 years, Ben, we've had enough of this ownership, and the common kind of, I suppose, feeling is that the European Super League was a turning point in terms of enough's enough. You're hemorrhaging money out of the football club. You never communicate to the fans. You take dividends out of the football club, and to kind of that was the final straw in kind of many different things these guys have done to this football club, and taking away the tradition that Sir Matt Busby and Sir Alex Ferguson built, and then to try compare the Super League, when they tried to compare the Super League kind of proposal to Matt Busby in 1958 when we entered the European Cup, that was the final straw for many Manchester United fans, I feel.
Yeah, I do agree. Look, I've got to be honest with everyone. I said this at the very start of the show. The signal at Old Trafford is awful, and Wesley sort of hit on it there. So we're going to be going between live feeds when Wesley and Benny can get in. I think Callum's trying down at Old Trafford as well. Everyone's really trying here to bring you live scenes, but we're also making sure that we can help find you the best videos on the net to showcase the atmosphere and what's going on. This has literally just been posted. So just a little bit of, so to speak, chat around this. So the whole Manchester United forecourt in front of the mega store was had metal railings around it. and police cordoned it. There were so many United fans who turned up, they stormed the cordon, and now it can't be contained. So all the United fans have fed into that forecourt. Now, there was about 2,000, Connor, you'd vouch for this, about 2,000 to 3,000 at the protest last Saturday, and it made up about 3/4 of that forecourt. At the moment, fans are having to pack in either side, and they're on the streets around Old Trafford because there's so many fans there. Wesley, who was live there, told us just a couple of minutes ago he reckons there's already 5,000 there, but people still coming down Sir Matt Busby Way. The protest is 15 minutes in, and Connor, sorry, you can probably hit on this a little bit more from last weekend's protest. Literally, people... Look, if you ever see Old Trafford before a kickoff, it's more or less empty until about 10 minutes into a game. Mancunians are fashionably late for more or less everything, as are the train lines going into Manchester all the time. So fans are still coming up, are still getting into Manchester, Connor. That protest sort of reached its peak at about half an hour in, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like they're just from that clip, they're going under the tunnel and round to the other side where the Stretford end is. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it does get up to the numbers that has been spoken about, 10 to 15,000. I wouldn't be surprised if they have to go round the side of the stadium, maybe towards the north stand and round that way in front of the Sir Alex Ferguson statue and so on. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy. And I get what the police have done. They've tried to contain it, but it's clearly not worked. And like you just saw there, it looks like the crowd is moving a bit. It looks like they're trying to get through the tunnel and towards the side of the Stretford end. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it does pour out onto the streets. And don't forget all those fans that are at the Lowry as well. They'll be coming over to Old Trafford at some point. So there'll be plenty more people. Like I said, this is only 15 minutes in. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes all the way up until the proposed 4:30 kickoff and beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Guys, make sure you subscribe to All for United. Hit a like on this video if you want the Glazers out. Get your thoughts. Is there a message you want to send to the Glazers today for all those fans internationally that can't make it to the protest at Old Trafford? We stand in solidarity for the message. We want 50+1. We want fans to be able to vote in how a club moves forward and how a club is run. We want that similarity to the German model. And ultimately, we also want the Glazers out. Two separate things worth protesting for, which is why we are making noise today. Devil's Delight is saying apparently there's fans that have managed to
I was just about to say,
on the pitch.
Ben, I've just sent you the picture. I don't know if you want to bring that up. I've just sent a picture on Twitter about it. There's a lot of fans on the pitch.
Can you DM me on Twitter? Because I currently can't see that. Oh, wait a second. We are seeing tweets now. There are fans inside Old Trafford.
There's loads of people on the pitch.
Fans have stormed Old Trafford. We're going to bring you some images as soon as we've got it. Wow, yes, I've got it here. Fans have stormed Old Trafford. This is unprecedented, Keane. I've never heard of anything like this happening.
Oh my God.
There's
That's absolutely crazy. Oh my God. Like we've talked about getting our voices heard, but this is a different message literally altogether.
Wow. Well, I mean, I've never seen anything like this before in my life. I'm with you. How on earth have they got onto the pitch? Is it because of sheerly how many people are there? They can't control it. The security can't control it. Wow.
I've just sent you a video, Ben. So it looks like they've got in through the south stand, which is what I was just saying. So when they were going, it looks like when I said a minute ago, they were going through the tunnel. And it looks like they were going towards the south stand and the Stretford end. Looks like what's happened. They've got in through the in between the south stand and the away end. Usually, I don't know how they've managed to get in. There's thousands of people flooding in. I don't know if you can bring that video up, but there are hundreds of people trying to get into that stadium. Well, I don't know how they can contain this now.
Funnily enough, I've just had a text from someone who I know is at Old Trafford today, and it's not either of the two people who we've had on, by the way. So let me just confirm that. It's neither Benny nor Wesley, who has literally just sent me a text saying, I'm inside Old Trafford, lol. Wow. I'm going to see if he can jump on the live screen, which is why I'm on my phone. I feel like, do you know Jim White, when he's doing transfer deadline day, is always on his phone talking to Harry Redknapp. I feel like I'm like that at the moment. I'm currently texting him, seeing if he can come and jump on the live stream and bring us a live stream from inside Old Trafford. Obviously, I won't be able to include his name, but we're trying to find out. Connor, have you sent me that video over in Twitter? Can you send it to the All for United Twitter DM, please? If that's
you want to do the All for United one?
Twitter, just through a DM on All for United Twitter. Brendan, I'm the same. Keen, why aren't the media talking about this? I've not seen one mainstream media account, and maybe you guys can check whilst we're doing this stream, actually talking about the fact that fans are on the pitch at Old Trafford with flares. The green and gold is inside Old Trafford.
I'm literally checking right now. Like, only mainstream media stuff I've seen is when the fans were outside the Lowry earlier on today. But like, there's nothing else here at the moment. Like, I guess the other like United related pages obviously saying United still are unable to leave the Lowry earlier on. Looking at it now, all United pages across social media are all posting that the fans are in Old Trafford right now. So I'd say it won't be long until mainstream do start reporting it.
The problem is, Keane, if one can get in, everyone can now storm him. So ultimately, Old Trafford, mark my words, Old Trafford is going to be full with fans within the next 20 minutes. It's going to happen. Watch, here's a video.
Oh my God. United!
They've got a football. Mark my words, today's game's not going ahead. There's no chance. There's absolutely no chance today's game goes ahead. No chance. If you've got 10,000 fans storming Old Trafford, they're kicking a ball across the pitch, they've got flares in there, that's too much of a security breach. There is no chance Manchester United Liverpool happens today.
No. I'd say
there's no chance. It's going to have to be called off. That's it. It's not going to happen. Hammer, I don't think it will turn violent, especially not amongst fans. But I think ultimately, now that fans are in Old Trafford as they are, there is absolutely no chance this game's going ahead. No chance. Crispus is a good point here because of the social media blackout. There's no mainstream social comms. Well, guys, this is where it's our responsibility now.
Yeah.
We get this across social media. Share the link to this video. Scenes inside Old Trafford. Hashtag Glazers out. Get Glazers out trending. Get these videos everywhere. Get this live stream everywhere. Let's bring fans together virtually to make sure that everyone sees these scenes. Just look at it. Sorry, that keeps making me laugh. The guy with the ball dribbling around the 6-yard box. If we just go back, look, watch this a second. Watch the stream and see if you spot the guy dribbling with the football. Watch. It's coming. It's coming. Ready? There he is. Oh. Do you know what I say to that? Give it to Eddie Cavani. David says, I absolutely love this.
I've never seen anything like this.
This is absolutely crazy. Guys, what do you make of this? Come on, let's get a caller on. You can call in internationally. It's charged at your standard rate. Call through now. 0114 360 9434. 0114 360 9434. What do you want to say about what's happening right now at Old Trafford, and what do you want to say directly to the Glazers? This is your chance. Use the local dial code to call through to the UK because it's a UK number. It won't be charged, I don't think. Do not mark my words, but we'll only keep you on for a couple of minutes anyway. I think it's charged at local network rate, not international rate. Check out the Skype terms and conditions for numbers for more on that. Karthik's just sent through a message as well. He knows a couple of people who are at Old Trafford and he cannot see this game happening. Coaches are still at the hotels. They haven't left because obviously now fans can get in the tunnels, can literally get all around the stadium. This has gone bonkers. Any more videos, any more, get it to us. I've also just had another message come through. The reason why Benny is really struggling, by the way, to get through and to get on 4G is because he reckons there are now 10,000 fans at Old Trafford, if not more. And the forecourt is clearing because all the fans are inside Old Trafford.
Well, that's the thing. They're not going to be able to stop it now, are they? Once they're in, they're going to have to let them in. You're not going to be able to... I've sent you one of the videos of people forcing their way in. I mean, fans back in the stadium, it's what we wanted, isn't it? Maybe not quite in this manner, but we've got what we wanted in the end.
How's this all making you feel, Keane?
I'm shocked. I thought like they'd stay outside the stadium. I thought obviously peaceful protest. I think security-wise, Old Trafford, it make you wonder at the same time, kind of were they really prepared for it? You know, like the fact the fans have managed to get onto the football pitch. You know, like did they underestimate the fan base today? Like, you know.
I completely agree. Right, let's go over, shall we? To Skype, we've got a caller on, so let's go over and hear who's there. We've just had a call through. Let's get you in here. Hey, buddy, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Morris from Birmingham.
Birmingham. Hey, buddy, was you on last week?
Yes.
Oh, mate, nice to have you back in. Look, you made your message loud and clear last week. How are these scenes at Old Trafford with fans storming the stadium making you feel, buddy?
Madness.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just how did they get in?
I'm not sure, man. Security breach.
I mean, ultimately, Keane just made a point there in terms of it being really peaceful. Do you think that this disrupts the whole peaceful protest movement? Or is this just United getting it completely wrong?
Bro, enough is enough. These fans, very proud of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, enough is enough, mate. Look, I'll give you another chance because I've already said that I'm not sort of clear on how much these calls are costing because Skype won't give me a clear number. We do this all through the Skype technology. But go on, mate. Go on. Look, have a minute, 2 minutes. I know you're a man with a small amount of words, but tell us, how did the Glazers make you feel, and how desperate are you to get them out of the club?
I'm so desperate to get these guys out of the club because they are absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, and I think you're spot on. And
cash cow.
They are literally cash cows. And buddy, look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you to go and enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully enjoy the live stream. I've got another video from inside Old Trafford. I'm going to put that on now, bud. Is that all right?
All right.
Cheers, pal. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for ringing in.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, what a guy. He rang in last week as well. And look, Stu's out and about at the moment. Stu, where are you?
I'm just walking to meet a couple of mates. We're going to watch the game together if it's still on, because I've just seen the footage about the fans inside Old Trafford.
If I was you, mate, I'll go home. Honestly, I don't. There cannot be a game. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Oh, have you lost us, Stu? No, he's lost us. He can't hear us. The 4G where Stu is worse than blimmin' Old Trafford. Let me tell you that. Sorry, Keane, I've got a zoom in on your face.
Sorry, just before you go to the next clip, I would just say as well, because I was watching Sky earlier, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, all those pundits are actually at Old Trafford today when they were doing the pre-show for the Arsenal game. So they are there and they'll be well aware of this and what's going on. So it won't be long before Sky pick up on this. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some tweets.
Sky Sports News are covering it right now. Sports News are covering it right now.
I was just about to say that. It's apparently live on Sky Sports News right now because obviously the cameras are at the stadium. They're there. Let's get this video on quickly. This is another video from inside Old Trafford of them going through, through from the South Stand entrance, like you said, Connor.
Oh my God! United!
Okay, that was the wrong video. I'll put the wrong one on. Let me go back over here. Here is them coming through the. Here we go. Right, let's get this in here. Sorry, guys, technology is playing me up today. Here it is. Here's the video.
20 times, 20 times,
So we can see there exactly where they've come in, Connor. You were spot on. South Stand. That was 128, if I was right. They've come through there and literally straight out onto the pitch. Ultimately, though, Connor, from there, they can go anywhere. The tunnel's going to be open.
Well, that's my point. This game can't go ahead now because there can be fans going up into the second tier. You can go all around the South Stand, like you said. You go through the tunnel. You go into the dressing. You could go literally anywhere from there. So, yeah, this game will not. I'll be amazed if this game goes ahead today because there's no way the police can manage how many people have gone in and where these people have gone. Yes, some people have gone onto the pitch, but people will be going up into the stands. They'll be going around, just walking anywhere. So I'll be amazed if this game goes ahead after this.
Let me just quickly cross. I'll keep this video on here so that we can watch it in a second. But let me just play something really funny that I've just seen on hashtag Glazers out. We're trying to bring you live video from Old Trafford. Unfortunately, where fans have stormed the pitch, we can't do that right now for a number of different reasons, as I'm sure you guys can imagine. But let me quickly get this up. Someone's just tweeted this through hashtag Glazers out, and I really, really like it. Currently, the security at Old Trafford. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. That is absolutely quality. Let's get the video back on then. We've got videos hitting us all the time. We've got fans at the stadium who are sending us text messages. They reckon, yes, 10,000 fans almost, if not that many, are currently outside and inside Old Trafford. And here's just some of them storming the pitch. We're going to try and bring you some live video. I'm working really, really hard.
I have just sent you another video, Ben. It does seem like they are targeting the Sky Sports box where Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher were stood about an hour ago. I'm assuming whenever it was, they were doing the pre-match for the Arsenal Newcastle game. It does seem like they're standing in front of that now and chanting away. So I don't know if you can.
Let's get this through. I do wonder if fans who are there are doing this with in mind that they're going to potentially leave the ground before kickoff, so that potentially we can get a game. But let's quickly scroll this and get this in.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, ultimately, we cannot condone flares being thrown at anyone or in any malicious way like that flare there did go towards the Sky Sports studio windows. Ultimately, this protest has to stay peaceful. People can have their say on whether they think storming Old Trafford is a peaceful protest or not. That's up to people to make their own mind up. Ultimately, Manchester United fans need to be heard. That's why they stormed the stadium. And now these fans are being heard. These pictures, these videos are going to be streamed around the world. And the message ultimately is clear. Listen to the fans. And I like Keane, a little chant for Keno at the end there, which you would have loved as an Irishman.
Yeah, it's always good to hear love for my namesake. It's always good to hear love for that man being named after him.
Yeah. Tim, feel free to jump in if you want, bud. Send us a DM on Twitter if you want to come and jump in and have a look. Seems to provide opinion as to whether the pitch invasion helps the cause or not. Your thoughts, guys? Connor, let me come to you first.
I'm a bit split on this because I don't condone that because that's not going to get us anywhere. And this might sound pessimistic, but I wouldn't be surprised if this does get out of hand in the stadium and we do see some damage to the pitch or to the ground in general. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes that way. But at the end of the day, what we're seeing now will get more coverage than just standing outside the ground. This is going to be shown everywhere now. The Glazers, I said before, the Glazers will see this anyway. They cannot ignore this. There's fans literally in the state. I've just seen somebody say that fans have been on the pitch more than Van der Beek has this season, which is very true, I guess. But yeah, it's good what they're doing as long as it doesn't get too far, in my opinion. I think as long as it stays peaceful, and like I said, this will get more coverage than any other kind of protest. Man United fans just do things differently, don't we? We know how to protest properly.
Keane, what about you, mate? What are your thoughts?
I'm split on it as well. Like, I think, look, throwing flares, I don't condone that because, again, that's violence. You don't do that. But look, this will get coverage and it will send the Glazers a message and they can't ignore it. And I think, look, this is going to be heard all around the world. We're the biggest football club in the world. And look, something's going to have to be done. These owners, they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to sell up. But again, I don't condone any kind of violent behaviour or anything like that, or do any damage done to the stadium or anything like that. I don't condone any of that. But look, with what the damage they've done over 16 years to this football club, fans are going to be frustrated. And it's gone to boiling point now.
I am obviously monitoring socials to see what's going on. And this is a really tricky one because ultimately, Manchester United, Liverpool, if this game is postponed, they're not going to tweet because of the social media blackout. Like they're not going to say anything at all. and Red Issue have released a map, and they are, I think, encouraging fans to cut out access points to Old Trafford for the coaches. Ultimately, the coaches can't get to Old Trafford. Fans are on the pitch. I'm seeing this as well, Crispus. Fans are stealing the corner flags. They're kicking the balls around the pitch. They're damaging the pitch. I just don't see how this can go ahead. We're talking about how many people are at Old Trafford. Let me just quickly remove this from my screen and bring in another new video. We're going to try and go back live inside Old Trafford and outside of Old Trafford in just a moment. But let me just quickly share this video that I have just seen on Twitter. And this video shows how many people are outside Old Trafford before they storm the stadium. Take a quick look at this. Old Trafford is packed with fans. We've got another call coming in. Let me just quickly go over to that. Hey, buddy, just stay on the line a second for me. I'm going to come over to call in just a second. Let me just quickly get through to you and get you on screen. We'll push you through now and come and hear your thoughts. Let's go here. Hey, buddy, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, my name is Hamid, and I'm calling from Canada.
Canada. We didn't have a caller from Canada last week. Good to have you, mate. Look, we're standing in solidarity with loads at Manchester today. What do you make, first of all, of fans storming Old Trafford?
Honestly, it's kind of crazy seeing that. I mean, it's great to see the fans back in the stadium, but this way, wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
How do you feel as a Red seeing these pictures?
Like, when I first saw them, like, on Twitter, the videos and the pictures, it was just insane just seeing it. Like, I have no idea, like, how this game's going to go ahead, to be honest, in my head.
We're the same. Connor was saying the same a second ago. Keegan was saying the same a second ago. Everyone on social media is saying it as well. We're having a look right now. Ultimately, though, pal, do you think if the game doesn't go ahead today, is that a win for us fans? It's a big game against Liverpool. So is this working? Is this a clear message? Or ultimately, is this doing what we're all arguing against, like the Premier League taking points off of the team? This is now affecting the team. I don't know where I sit on this. Where do you sit on it?
I think definitely if the game doesn't go ahead, that's definitely a huge win for the fans, and it's sending out a big message to the whole footballing world.
I think it's an interesting one. Buddy, the floor is yours. I'm letting all fans do this today who call in. The floor is yours. If you were stood in front of the Glazer family right now and you wanted to say something to them, mate, take your time. Say what you want to say. Go for it.
Well, Glazers, I think it's time for you to go. You really care more about the Buccaneers than us, to be honest.
We want someone who cares about the club here. Buddy, thank you for calling in all the way from Canada. We really, really appreciate it. Make sure you share the video, like it as well. Let's get this shared far and wide. We want fans like yourself internationally to be able to call in and be involved with this show like you're at Old Trafford. And I hope you're enjoying it, pal. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Oh, another passionate fan there, Keen. Spot on as well. Can I just hit on that point, by the way? If this game does get cancelled, it's now affecting the team. We've all argued against UEFA and the Premier League taking points away from us because that ultimately affects the team. So is this too much?
Look, I think, again, like, I can understand fans' frustration from it, and I can understand why they've stormed the pitch. But again, like, you're dead right. Like, affecting the team, and it's not the team, it's not the players' fault, it's not Ollie's fault, it's not any of them guys' fault. Ultimately, it's the Glazers. But again, like, if this results in the team getting reprimanded for it, like, there's no need for that. But I can understand the fans' frustration. Like, we're all three of us here, we're all frustrated too. Like, we all have our own gripe with the great Glazer family and kind of what they've done to us as a football club. But there's no need for the team being affected here. And ultimately, this is what's happened now. And I think I was all for protests outside the stadium, sing your songs, have the green and gold, do everything we can to raise awareness for getting the Glazers out. But these type of actions in terms of throwing flares at people who are in the stadium and kind of condoning violence, you know, that's not for me.
I think it's really interesting because we're getting videos sent to us all the time. Guys, just so you know, we did have a live feed from Old Trafford at the very start. Everyone could vouch for that. Unfortunately, the 4G around the stadium now, and I'm getting texts all the time, they reckon that now there's well over 10,000 people outside Old Trafford and in the actual stadium. And ultimately as well, the guys who are providing us a live feed, they're not going to provide us a live feed from inside Old Trafford because there may be consequences after this for those that have stormed past the security and those who do get identified. So ultimately, people now inside Old Trafford are potentially in quite a vulnerable situation. All we can do is take the videos that are being fed through to us from social media and replay them to you until we get a stable connection on the ground. This is something all media outlets are now struggling with. Here's, of course, some fans, or a majority of the fans, are still outside Old Trafford protesting. Here are the scenes right now. I think there's, by the way, Keen, your mic's on.
Yeah, sing the waves. Not a bother.
Yeah, no, we heard that, and then we heard you banging as well. I mean, you was in tune, which is a plus. I will give you a 5 for that. No, sorry, that's strictly that's dancing, isn't it? Ultimately, I think at the end of this video here, Connor, and again, you were there last week, so you can hit on this. I think now they're going to come over towards the side. You can see how far back people are. Look at that. That view there. Ultimately, Connor, there is definitely over 10,000 people outside Old Trafford right now.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to take a while. This is not going to be over in the next hour or so. And that's what I mean about the game. This is not going to be... To disperse that crowd, that's going to take a long time. And to get people out of the stadium and back out... Because you've got to think that those people that are inside the stadium have got to come out the same way they came in, unless they start opening up the entrances around the ground and let people filter out in different ways. But if they've all got to come out the same way that everyone came in, it's going to be a long time before these people are moved on. And to be fair, looking at the atmosphere there, it doesn't look like anyone wants to leave, let alone the police trying to get them to leave. So I'm sure they'll leave them to it until... I mean, last week, like all protests, it kind of just died out. 10, 20 people left, then 100 people left, and then it does start to filter out. So that's likely what will happen today. But this is going to go on for quite a while, I think.
Stan Collymore has just shared a video. I don't know what outlet it is from. Thank you to Fred Woodward for sending this over. He's watching right now. Good to have you with us, Fred, by the way. I'm sorry if I've not seen your comment in the live chat. Loads of live chats coming through. Guys, tell us where you're watching from in the world, please, in the live chat, and I'll get some up on the screen as we play this video to you. But here's the scenes being shown at the moment, I believe, on American TV of what's happening inside Old Trafford whilst the Arsenal and Newcastle game's going on. It's a bit blurry, but... So you can really see there, 400 to 500 on the pitch. You can see what's going on there. They're right outside the Sky protest box. It's really, really going on, as you can tell. You can buy our club, but you can't buy our heart and soul. I mean, amen to that. Bloody heck.
Yeah, amen.
I think as well, just jump at something that maybe hasn't been considered. Jonathan,
and look, they're going down the tunnel.
It just on that as well. So Jonathan's just put in our chat about COVID safety and what's going to happen with the players. Now, surely, the whole stadium's going to have to be looked at, and the players, I know they get tested a lot, but the whole point was that the stadium was almost under quarantine, and the only people there were certain sections of the media and the two sets of teams that were playing. So surely now that breaches the COVID security around the players as well. I'm not sure, but
I was going to say kind of. I think ultimately what we've got to remember as part of this is these fans at the moment haven't come in contact with the players. Like, they might have been in the stadium on the pitch, and ultimately, yes, that will need to be, so to speak, sprayed, and especially the management area. But look, we're an hour and 15 minutes away, really, from the players actually going out on the pitch and starting to train for kick. Is it 4:30 kickoff today or 4?
It's 4:30, I believe. The coaches, I've just seen the coaches are still at the Lowry, so they haven't left yet. They still can't get out, looking from the video I've just seen. So they're not going to be leaving anytime soon.
I've just been told by someone who is at the Lowry at the moment, the coaches are not going anywhere. The police are chatting. Apparently, again, unconfirmed this, and I'm hoping we'll get a video in a second. Apparently, players have shouted out the window to go. To the fans, and they're trying to do everything, but ultimately I mean, what can you do? Unless they move to a different stadium at this last minute. Is that possible? Jeff said they could play the game at Salford's Ground, but ultimately you're not going to be able to get the cameras there. It'd be, I don't know how you rectify this. There's too much money involved with this game in particular for Sky Sports for the game to be moved. I don't see it going ahead. Here's the scenes at Old Trafford at the moment. I mean, guys, I know you two have been with me for a little while now. So if any of you do have to drop out at any point, please just let me know. Obviously, I want you guys to stay. I don't want to do this on my own. So would love it if you can. Go on. Apparently, my signal's messing about. So sorry if it is a little bit. Live chat, guys. Where are you watching from? David, watching from Ireland. So proud of them. Yusuf saying Glazers out. Ali saying stop this protest. I mean, it's an interesting one. The BBC, Stuart said, have reported that there is no chance the match will be affected. I mean, how can the match not be affected, Keane?
The match is affected. Like, kickoff time is going to be delayed, or if not, the game's going to be cancelled or postponed. The match is most definitely going to be affected. Like, there's 400 or 500 people inside the stadium. It's going to take a while to get them out of there. Like, you see the scenes of people smashing up cameras and stuff like that. Like, it's going to be affected, if not called off. Like, I don't see how it can go ahead now. Like, really, like, with all this stuff that's going on, like, it's a health and safety hazard now at this point, Are
we hedging our bets, Connor? Does the game go ahead?
I will be amazed if it goes ahead, and I'll be amazed if we don't get some kind of punishment for this as well. That sounds really negative, I know, but I'll be amazed if and it's a shame, but ultimately this is the best way. Not the violence. I don't condone that in any way. But with Sky there at the moment, with it being Manchester United, Liverpool, this is going to be shown in America because it's the biggest game in English football. So,
well, those scenes. Sorry, Connor. Just quickly, those scenes that we have shown you from Stan Collymore, that was NBC in America.
Exactly.
So it's all over there.
Yeah. So the Glazers are 100% going to see it. So I don't condone any of the violence. However, this will get more notice than any protest for a long, long time, since the very early days of the protest in 2005 on, to 2009-ish. So, yeah, don't condone the violence or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game will get delayed at the very minimum today. It's not going to go ahead at 4:30. It can't do. The players aren't even there yet. So, an hour away, an hour and a half away from kickoff, 15, 20 minutes to get there. So, no, this game's not going ahead at 4:30, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see, obviously, because Sky, as we've seen, are there. Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Mika Richards, I think it's Jamie Carragher are all at the stadium right now. So, obviously, what happens with that as well. I'm sure that they'll have their own views on it. I'm just keeping an eye on Sky Sports now because the Arsenal game is just coming up to half-time. So, I'm just interested to see what comes up at half-time in this game, because I'm sure it's going to be mentioned. But
I've sent you a video there, Ben, of more scenes in Old Trafford.
Perfect. Right, let's go over to that. I want to go over to this video quickly. Guys, get in the live chat. Tell us exactly what you think. I'm going to put here to the guys to maybe come and jump on. We might get Brad Cox on as well to come and jump in as well. Any fans there that want to jump in can do. The dude chilling on the net. Yes, Keane, I'll get to that. Right, let's just quickly have a look at the scenes outside Old Trafford at the moment. United Exclusive have posted this up. We've got Jeff over in the Philippines right now. Morning, Jeff. How's everything going? And what do you make of these scenes?
It's actually an evening here. So, wow, these are crazy scenes. Yeah, it's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, going to 10 o'clock. So we're actually just preparing for the match, and then there's not going to be any match now.
Yeah, well, do you think that's the case? Do you think there will not be a game today?
As Connor was saying earlier in the show, that's impossible to disperse in such a short time. That no way the match will continue in Old Trafford, at least. So that's why I thought maybe they played in Salford, but I don't know.
Well, let's bring in. I know the panel's getting bigger at the moment. Oh, sorry, Jeff, didn't mean to remove you. Let's bring in Brad Cox quickly, who does some great stuff for Vavel and is also just a fantastic writer. Brad, you've been to Old Trafford and you've seen the scenes today. Is there any chance this game going ahead today?
Well, I was at the protest last weekend reporting on it, and it was a lot more civil. But it looks as though this weekend's protest is a lot bigger. I mean, that's clear to see. But it is now a case of whether this game will go ahead. And the biggest sort of issue for today is now the COVID has been breached. The safety of the players has been breached. The ground staff, everything has been breached inside of Old Trafford, which is obviously a danger throughout this pandemic, because that is a red zone. When I'm at Old Trafford reporting from the press box, I'm in an amber zone. I can't get anywhere near the pitch. So when you're in that red zone down at Old Trafford, you are, tested frequently. You're in your own bubble, the team bubble, like the players are, similar to the managers, like Solskjaer. They're not allowed to go outside of that bubble. Well, they're not supposed to be outside of that bubble. And obviously that's all been breached today. There's the rumor going around at the minute from inside the club that they're going to have to disinfect absolutely everything. Corner flags, footballs. This could take another hour to 2 hours before the game is even discussed about starting. Never mind the players getting to Old Trafford. The worry is now that these players won't be able to get there in time for the original kickoff. I think that's already gone out the window. But the fact that they will now disinfect nearly the whole stadium. And at halftime, during normal games behind closed doors, you see some stewards going around with little, almost like bubble machines. They go around squirting things, which is all disinfectant. So, they're either going to have to get a lot more of those bubble machines, disinfectant machines, or a lot more men to clean it up. I think that's what the biggest issue is right now.
Can you just quickly, Brad, just inform us all on one thing? Obviously, you've been at Old Trafford. You said there when you're a journalist and you're there, you're in an amber zone, which obviously means that you only come into contact with other people who are in the amber zone. When it comes to that red zone, can you just quickly tell us a little bit more about what that means to your knowledge?
Well, to my knowledge, the red zone is for those sorts of people that are not directly involved with players or with the club, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like Paul Pogba, the likes of the big players. The red zone. The red zone will be people like Jeff Shreves, Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville, the people down on the side of the pitch that could potentially come in contact with the players. Myself, amber zone, I will never get close to those players in COVID times. I sit in my seat and I watch the game and report on it. I will never get close to that pitch. So that's what sort of the red zone is all about. Stewards will be similar to that. They'll have red zone passes, and they potentially could be in danger as well, because you don't know how if these 20,000 fans, 10,000 fans, whatever the estimation is, you don't know if they've got COVID. You don't know if they're vaccinated. So it's definitely posing a threat to many of the players potentially.
Boxes, but organising demonstration outside Old Trafford, outside the stadium was fine. Breaking in is too far. Look, as a reporter, Brad, ultimately, obviously this gives you a lot more to talk about when it comes to this. And ultimately, do you think more media will now report on these protests because of the stadium being infiltrated? But we spoke about this earlier on. This doesn't do any good for the team, does it? The team can't go out there and play now. The bubbles, you said, been infiltrated. You're hearing from it. By the way, just so you know, Brad's just mentioned he's hearing from inside Old Trafford that already they're talking and trying to put plans into place to absolutely disinfect everything on where the fans could have been. But ultimately, Brad, I suppose I'm asking you so many questions here, but there's just things that are coming in my mind every time I speak after what you've just said. Ultimately, without going back, reviewing all of the CCTV, tracing every fan's step, how are they going to be able to safely and securely disinfect the areas where the fans have been? They're not going to know.
They're not going to know. That's going to be the biggest issue. And the team bus is still at the Lowry, which is probably the biggest relief of the day, because these players, if they were inside of this ground, they would have been breaching their COVID sort of protocols, which is one of the biggest dangers. And then who knows, there might be some sort of quarantine in place on them. After these events today. But it's looking like, I'm just getting text here, that there's still around 2,000 to 3,000 on site at the stadium, someone's telling me. And they could still...
In the stadium?
No, outside the stadium, where the Munich tunnel is, he's telling me here.
Okay. Sorry, Brad, just to jump in, Sky have just put on their thing live that there's nobody inside the ground now. There are stewards all walking around the pitch. Sky Sports are back on the perch or wherever they sit, so that there is nobody on the pitch anymore. I don't know about around the ground or whatever, but yeah, there's definitely nobody inside on the pitch anymore.
So I have someone who's I'm getting texts all the time here. I think like everyone is. I know you said about a few thousand being outside. I'm getting more in the region of 5 to 10. They reckon there's fans all around that stadium at the moment. Maybe in that section, like you said, a couple of thousand. But I think even looking at scenes, we'll get some more videos up now. Brad, I'll come back to you in a second if that's all right, mate. Mark, I know you haven't got long, but you wanted to jump in and have your say. What do you make of all this?
I'm really disappointed, actually. Obviously we did this last weekend. It was a lot more calm and measured, but I just feel that you're always going to get a number of people. Whilst I agree with the protest, you're always going to get a number of people that are going for the wrong reasons, and ultimately we have a game today. We're still in a pandemic. All the boys have already said it. It's dangerous. I don't mean to take the wind out of it, but it is dangerous, and I'm very disappointed. I feel like it could be a lot calmer and done in a lot more diplomatic way.
15 to 10 years, though, Mark, of protests and people speaking out against the Glazers, nothing working. Ultimately, this can't be ignored. So what those fans will say to you is this extreme measures mean extreme actions, playing devil's advocate. What would you say to that argument?
Yeah, I listen, I said I don't disagree with that. I understand, what we're pushing for, 16 years, and at some point we need to be able to make a big enough voice to be heard. I totally understand that, but I just feel that, that number of people could have turned up and not gone mad. Yeah, not gone onto the pitch, not broken into things. There's going to be damage and all sorts. You know what I mean? And I just feel that we can still make a voice. We can still, I'm very pleased that so many people have turned up and wanted to get their voices heard, and that's absolutely fine. Don't disagree with that, but I just think that this mob mentality really, and it does frustrate me a little bit.
Let me just quickly get some more scenes on from Old Trafford at the moment. I just want to share this because where there is a lot of frustration and a lot of scenes of fans doing loads of different things at Old Trafford, we've got to say the plonker of the day goes to this guy on top of the net. Oh, unlucky, mate. Oh, unlucky, mate. Oh, wow. Unlucky, pal.
And
only everyone's seen that.
And this is my other problem as well, is obviously Sky News seem to be on it a little bit more today. They weren't on last week's one, which was a lot more calm. And now it's going to sort of paint us in a very bad light, and we're all going to get tarnished with that same brush, and that frustrates me too.
Brad, anything else from Old Trafford from you? Any other thoughts? Anything else that maybe we're not taking into account here?
Well, I'm hearing the game will go on, but I'm not too sure. I don't know a kickoff time, but I basically just got a text saying "think might go on." So
that guy doesn't like
make about what you will. Make of that what you will, but it might go ahead tonight. It could be turned into a 6 o'clock kickoff. Could be a 7 o'clock. Who knows? It's all speculation.
Would you mind just quickly repeating for those who are joining us now? We've just had an insurge of people join us. Just quickly on what you've heard from Old Trafford in terms of the COVID breach at the moment and what they'll have to do to rectify that. Sorry that you're going to be repeating yourself a little bit, but we've just
that's fine. Yeah. Well, this is not what's been directly told to me, but what the theory is now that they're going to have to disinfect a lot of things inside of Old Trafford because of the red zone and amber zone that I mentioned earlier in the show, that has been breached. These Premier League clubs have to follow such strict protocols throughout this entire season. Project Restart, it was probably a little bit hotter on these protocols, but they've not gone away. The red zone is still, in fact, being used across the entire Premier League, Champions League, all sorts of footballing events where if you don't have a red pass, you can't get anywhere near the players. You can't get anywhere near the pitch. If you are an amber zone member, you're inside the stadium. You are in the press box, and you kind of stick to the press box in the press room. You get you get your hot chocolate and that sort of thing, and that's about as far as you can move. The red zone is for the likes of Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Jeff Shreves, and those sorts of people who will potentially be a lot closer to the players, interviewing them, maybe a little fist bump sort of thing. But that's basically what the red zone is. And the theory is now that people are saying that they're going to have to disinfect it because you don't know where these fans have been. You don't know what they've come into contact with. And the preparations for a football match these days are very severe. There's lots of different rules and things you've got to follow to get a game going. So to speculate that this game is going to happen, it might be 2 or 3 hours from now, which would probably be a more likely target of 6 o'clock kickoff. We don't know if that's confirmed. Nothing will be confirmed yet, but you've got to think that they're going to have time to disinfect the ground.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate you coming on and just giving us an insight there into what that means. Otherwise, we'd know nothing about it. Ultimately, the fans there are to be heard and to have a voice. There's going to be different opinions on, I agree with Mark, mob mentality and what should be and shouldn't be done. But ultimately, I also think in protest, you have a split minute to make a decision on what you're going to do. Ultimately, what I'm more pleased of is that these scenes are being broadcast around the world. And ultimately, with the key message being, and this was my worry about this protest, it was all going to be about 50+1. That key message, first and foremost, needs to be Glazers out. And I think that message is being served loud and clear at the moment, inside, outside, around Old Trafford. Just to bring you guys up to date on pictures and what we're hearing, Old Trafford has now been cleared of fans. There's no one inside the stadium. There's about 5,000 to 10,000 outside the stadium. However, I'm also hearing from some people who have sent me texts and messages through Twitter. They're starting to go home because ultimately the protest was meant to last an hour, especially from the message that was put out by the supporters clubs. But as Mark sort of said with this whole mob mentality thing and the reason why some people go, obviously there's a number of fans still sticking around and still doing whatever they wish around the stadium, which is obviously their own prerogative. Hammer, let me bring you in quickly. Your thoughts on the scenes at Old Trafford today, outside the stadium, one, because the scenes were beautiful, but also with people going inside the stadium.
Yeah, man. So I think the protests are doing really good. You know, you guys were able to see it with one of the, I think you said NBC ones. It's getting time over here in the States on TV. A couple of my friends, they're on United fans. I think one's a Chelsea fan and one's a Munich fan, and they're seeing all the news about this. But I said in the private chat, yes and no to Mark about going inside. So I think the issue with this is the mob mentality. Yes, that can be an issue because it can lead to, it can lead to bad things happening. It can lead to violence. It could lead to police and stuff getting involved, which they most likely are. But I think the difference with this is, as with a lot of, when you look at certain protests, is the amount of things that have gone on, right? You guys talk about the years that it's been with dealing with issues with Glazers and trying to get a protest. So I think the issue with this here is that the reason it's getting to this point is because it's everything just exploding from years and years of frustration. So I understand what Mark's saying about the mob mentality, but I think it's inevitable with all the things that have happened, and then the final cherry on top with this Super League that they tried to push.
Listen, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I agree with the protests. I want people to be there. I want people to have their voice heard. I just hope, knowing what goes on in track record, things can get out of hand, and I just hope that doesn't happen too much.
It was a good thing to see, though, I agree with what you're saying, Mark, but the fact that the fans all came in together, and it looked like the security were letting them in, to be honest. There was no point trying to hold that back, but it looked like they've all left together as well. It's not like people have hung around and trashed the ground.
Can I just quickly say, Connor, can I just quickly say, Old Trafford did do an announcement to ask fans to leave the stadium. Apparently they ignored it first time, second time they left. Yeah, so ultimately, they weren't removed from the ground. Obviously, they passed security. Oh, wait a second. I've got an echo going on. Ultimately, yes.
When asked to do so, whether it was second time or whatever. Good. But ultimately, it's got the message across. And like I said earlier, doing this, although I don't necessarily fully agree with it, this will get more coverage than any other protest we've had. So I'll end it there.
All right, no worries. Thank you for jumping on, Connor. I know you have to run off. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
No worries. Speak to you soon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Brad, is there anything else that's coming through to you at the moment?
Well, Laurie Whitwell has just basically reiterated the fact of the COVID bubble breach invasion. He's reporting that a meeting is currently taking place to discuss these events. What that meeting entails, the details are not clear as of yet. But there's also more videos of now fans getting into some boxes inside of the ground. So,
okay. So the fans haven't all left. And I think this is, again, back to what Mark said a second ago. There's obviously going to be a majority who obviously do care about the club and are there protesting to do it in the right way. But obviously there's some people who aren't, Mark, like what you said as well. They've been asked to leave the stadium. The majority have, but some have stayed and are causing trouble. Boom.
It just takes one, basically. If one just does that and then all hell breaks loose.
It happens in any protest, you know. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about them here, but like it happened in the protests that were going on in the States, right? You had people who were trying to get the message across, and you had people who came just to break shit, you know. So
Yeah.
And you are right. It happens across protests. Let me just quickly get this video up, which has been shared. I think Brad, you just shared this to us. Yeah, there are quite a few people in the boxes by the looks of it. Have a look up in the window. I've also had a text from someone saying that Sky Sports have had to up security and have also had to double lock doors. And obviously Keane and everyone's had to come in off the balcony. So again, there's just mixed reports on what is actually going on at Old Trafford at the moment. Guys, get in a live chat. Where are you watching from? You know, Inspect here is having a very clear opinion on this, a bit like what Mark did at the very start. And this is the whole thing. We have multiple opinions in the live chat on the show. That's the whole point of doing a show. If we all agreed, football would be freaking boring. All this would achieve is getting the club as a whole into hot water, maybe even more so. This was to make the owners take note, not to affect the club players and managers and fixtures. I've just had someone send me a DM saying that, and Brad, I don't know if you've had this text maybe, or you've heard something, but reports from Old Trafford is that they're describing this as a serious COVID bubble breach, which ultimately, if that gets reported back to the Premier League, there can't be a game today. So I'm wondering where this is at. Laurie's just tweeted a meeting is taking place to discuss the extraordinary events at Old Trafford, staff establishing whether any COVID bubble breach given fan invasion. So meetings ongoing at Old Trafford, according to Laurie Whitwell.
Yeah, well, basically that's kind of what the fact that I've been pointing out for the past 20 minutes or so is that this is a breach, and the MEN now reporting that the referee has been turned away. Sky Sports, well, they're getting it from Sky Sports that the ref has now been turned away from entering the stadium. Neither team has arrived yet. So he's saying that the MEN is saying that he's been turned away from entering the stadium, which would kind of tell me that they are at the back of the Stretford end, because that's where you park your car, where the members of the media park your car, where the players arrive in their cars. Well, in this case, they're on a coach. But that's where where you enter the stadium. You enter inside the Munich tunnel, but you come around the back of the stadium at the end of the Stretford end. So now that the referee's been turned away, then that's getting a bit serious now, because obviously he will have to be in coordination with the Premier League. Like Laurie said, there is a meeting currently going on, so there's lots of new events unfolding. So it's only time until this match goes on.
Well, do you know what? We'll stay live. We'll keep trying to bring you what's going on at Old Trafford and more and more. Mark, I know you said when you first came in that you didn't really have much time. I mean, I do agree here that I know, like you put in a live chat, you're doubting even your own comments. Like maybe you think you're wrong. We're all about having an opinion. Louis says here it will show that we really want them out if we're willing to even risk fixtures, clubs and players. We care about the club so much doing this. Look, we're not doubting that there's passionate fans in that stadium right now, are we? Or even outside that stadium. But ultimately, when the things were I've just realised something went out of shot. When things were flying around about UEFA and the Premier League potentially deducting us points, we were saying about how much that would affect the team. We said this on this live stream before. This right now is affecting the team, isn't it? So where's the line between going too far and not far enough? It's tough.
Well, this is it, yeah. We have to sort of practice what we preach. And you're absolutely right. We can't affect the team or whoever that may be with European Super League, and that's kind of got to stick to this as well. And ultimately, I want to watch a game of football today. I want to enjoy it. I want to, I feel like we're in a good position to beat Liverpool, and that's what I was looking forward to. And whilst obviously this is going on, and I respect that, and I condone it, I just feel that we've got to be very careful. And as I said earlier, Sky Sports last weekend made it about the European Super League. It wasn't. It was about the Glazers. And they will try and create their own narrative. And today, that narrative will be mob mentality. And that's what I'm worried about. I know that that's always going to happen. It happens in all protests. And you can't stop the anger that we have towards them. And I don't want that to be reflected badly, because ultimately it would just be bad press, but it won't be for what we want.
We're really, really hoping, and see that it will be game on. We're lucky to have Brad Cox, who's a reporter for Vavel, with us, and he has obviously told us everything that's sort of going on with the COVID breach and protocols, and he's getting text through all the time. He's been at Old Trafford for a number of games, so absolutely knows what he's talking about. Brad, thank you for sticking on with us. Rob Harris has just reported that fans are still inside Old Trafford. So Old Trafford has not been cleared. Fans are still inside Old Trafford. As you can see there, that video taken about 10 minutes ago of fans in the director's box. We've already told you about how Sky have had to lock down. Brad's just told us about the fact that I've just had another text through now. I literally feel like Jim White on deadline day. That's how I feel right now with my phone in my hand, with so much going on. Let me do this message. I'll come back to you and tell you what it says in a second. Jeff, I haven't heard from you in a little while, so let me just quickly talk to you about some of the stuff that's come in. We're getting comments that I've never been so proud as a fan. Yes, protest, but should never have entered the pitch. Ultimately, we've made noise. Do you think we're going to be heard, Jeff?
Personally, the Glazers could care less. With everything that's happening the past 16 years, they couldn't care less anymore. As I was saying during the live chat earlier, there should be a protest, like a mere protest down in Florida. That might have been a better way to get into their heads. But with this, we might just be affecting the team, the players and managers. But with the Glazers, with their attitude, I don't think they're watching this. That's what worries me. Yes, we are getting heard. We're getting that mainstream coverage, but with the Glazers might be just chilling back in the East Coast. Am I right, Tama?
Yeah. I kind of wanted to follow up what you were saying. Actually, I don't think they're chilling, and it might not be because of the protests, and I don't know how credible one of the things I saw earlier was, but it was about Adidas being frustrated with shirt sales. If this starts affecting Adidas in terms of, and Adidas is getting pissed off with them, then the Glazers are going to have to start listening.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, and everyone watching out there, obviously this show's international. We're standing in solidarity with the fans outside Old Trafford at the moment. And I do stress mainly outside Old Trafford at the moment, as the majority are. Hammer's obviously over in the States. We've got Jeff, who's in the Philippines, and Mark, who probably is in a villa in the Costa del Sol. Looking at that glow. Look at that. Look at that skin. Look at that complexion. And obviously Brad is a reporter at Vavel and is bringing us the latest as we get it. I'm hoping we're going to get someone call through to me who's actually outside Old Trafford right now to find out what's going on. Have you got an update for us, Brad? I've just seen you put something in the chat.
Well, just someone who's there at the minute saying not sure what the reports are saying, but the situation is not being calmed down, and this game may not go ahead. That's from someone who's outside of the ground, not inside, and doesn't really have a relevant source that I would deem credible. But that's just what I've just received.
So just quickly on that, Brad, for you now, ultimately, could this whole match being put in jeopardy actually overtake the purpose of what the protest was for? And that was obviously trying to get the Glazers. Oh, wait a second. Sorry. Stick with me 1 second. 1 second. Stick with me. I'll come back to you, Brad. 1 second. Let me just quickly take this call. Stay on the line, Callum. I know it's you. I know you're there. I know Callum's there. Callum's on the line. I'm just going to bring him in now to tell us what's happening at Old Trafford. Let me just double check that this is all okay there. Yep, that's okay. Callum, can you hear me?
Yeah, just about.
All right, mate. Thank you for jumping on, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Tell us what you can see, what the scene's like at Old Trafford.
We're just by where the Munich statue is, and everyone's on the roof and stuff like that, and then there's people in the stadium banging on the windows with signs and everything just going on, just chanting and singing, as you can hear behind me. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, man.
There's loads of people, there's a big presence here, loads of police. I don't know what's going to happen with the game, to be honest, because there's that many people here. There's people on the pitch, people in the stadium. So it's all over the place.
Callum, can I ask you a really, really, really simple question? From what you can see, are people going in and out of the stadium still?
At the minute, I can't see anyone doing it, but people have run in and out, to be fair. But, we're having to storm it to show that we're being serious about it.
We've just had a message through from someone else who's out at the moment who said that, yes, more have just run in again. They've just seen more people run in the stadium again. So ultimately, this isn't going to calm down anytime soon, is it, Callum?
I don't think so. It doesn't look like anyone's going home anytime soon by the looks of it. There is a little bit of a gap that people are getting in, but I've not seen anyone get in for about 10 minutes or so. But if there is, there's a hole somewhere to get in, because I don't know where it is. I can't see from where I'm stood.
And what do you make of that, Callum? Quickly, you're on the ground, you're protesting outside the stadium. What do you make of the fact that people are actually going in the stadium now?
Good. Shows that we're serious about what's going on, to be honest. You know, just screaming and chanting is not going to do much. We're storming the stadium and showing that something needs to change, whether it's government getting involved or the Glazers going.
Have you heard from anyone around you, Callum, or in your own personal opinion, does anyone care if this game gets called off this evening?
It doesn't seem like it. I don't think anyone's that bothered, to be honest.
So
I think everyone's thinking of the greater good. Whether the punishment will be quite severe, I don't know, but I guess everyone is thinking of the greater good. But there's thousands of people there.
So ultimately, in your mind, do you think these protesters are going to keep going, no matter if the game, obviously, no matter what happens now moving forward?
I'm not too sure, to be honest, but at this point, it doesn't actually seem like there's many people bothered about the game. You know, regardless of who we're playing, I know it's Liverpool, but I think everyone's just wondering what, you know, I can't really explain it, mate. It's just absolutely mental.
Yeah, quickly, man. Just quickly, away from that, tell me about the atmosphere. What's it been like?
Very, very loud. Flares everywhere. People chanting. People climbing on like the little bits of the roofs by the away stand. People with massive banners and massive flags, just showing everyone that, you know, we want the Glazers to go.
And another quick one. Peaceful?
Yeah, there's not been any fights or anything that I've seen. Nothing. I think everyone's just, like I say, just chanting and telling everyone that their opinion on what they want to happen. I've not seen anything serious. I mean, obviously there's a police presence just to make sure nothing goes wrong, but it seems peaceful enough to me.
And ultimately, Callum, let me just quickly ask you this question. I've asked other people this question. Do you think the Glazers are listening? Do you think this is now going to hit home harder than any other protest we've done against our owners?
I think this is the biggest one we've ever done, to be honest. I'd be surprised if this didn't actually get a statement from the club, because something's got to change.
Yeah.
I've never seen one this big before. I think it's bigger than the 05 and the 2010 one. You know, people storming the stadium and things. That's never happened before.
And another quick one, mate. Just look around you. And I keep saying quick one, but I keep getting loads of questions as I've got you on the phone. Guys, in the live chat, if you've got any questions for Callum, we'll quickly ask him. Get them in quickly. Anyone live on the show want to ask Callum a question, quickly let me know in the private chat and I'll ask him. Callum, another quick one, buddy. What's happening around you right now? What are the scenes like? How many people are there?
Yeah, there's thousands here, mate. Everyone's just chanting and singing songs and saying that they want the Glazers out. There's thousands of people here.
Would you say that 10,000's been hit, or would you not know?
Probably more. Probably more. I reckon.
Probably more. Interesting. Really interesting.
There's probably more than 10,000 here.
Well, Callum, just to keep you in the loop, everything we're hearing at the moment, and we've got a report on with us, and we're hearing quite a lot coming through. The game is going to potentially still go ahead. Team sheets are still planned to be released at 3:30. The referee, though, has been turned away from the stadium, and we don't believe the players have left the Lowry yet, or the Liverpool hotel either. Something else that I just want to add in here, by the way, guys, which I'm just seeing. Red Issue earlier on put a map out about the route that the two buses would go on, and I am seeing pictures of fans lining the streets on those routes to also stop the buses coming through. So there may still be more disruption to go, even if the buses leave. Callum, ultimately, is the right thing happening today, in your opinion? Is this the right way to go about it?
Yeah. Well, what else is there to do? We've got to show them that we're serious. I think I've heard the same, but I don't know how true it is. But I think the buses have been blocked. I don't know if it's just United or both United and Liverpool. So I don't know if they'll make it. I don't know what's going on. I didn't know that about the referee though.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Well, man, look, you know that we've got fans watching internationally right now. People watching from around the world. Would you mind calling back in like 10 to 15 minutes, or if anything else happens, just to keep us updated? Because you know what 4G's like, mate. Around Old Trafford, it's shite. So
I did see Benny before, mate, and he's struggling as well. I've only just managed to get signal back. So if I've got signal, mate, I'll try call back.
Please, man, if you see anything happening, whether it's a big group of people going or something's going on at the stadium, just give us a call back. I'll pick it up straight away and get you on, man. I'd really appreciate you keep reporting.
Yeah, all right, mate.
Cheers, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you, Callum.
All right.
Cheers,
all
mate.
Right,
bye. Well, that's what's happening at Old Trafford at the moment. Mark, your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, mental, isn't it? I mean, I wish I saw a lot more of these people last weekend. But no, listen, as I said, I don't want to keep beating the same drum, but I'm really pleased. Obviously, this is happening. I am pleased that, hopefully this will get the right message across, and hopefully we'll get some positive repercussions from this. As I've said, my only worry is I don't want any trouble to be caused. And there's a lot of play. I mean, that's quite amazing, really, isn't it? How the hell are they getting in?
It's mental. As Callum said there, Hammer. Just quickly, Hammer. Obviously, they were describing there. Callum was describing a little gap that people are getting through. They managed to find a gap. It doesn't even sound like they're bypassing security. But honestly, they found a gap somewhere in the stadium, probably a hole that the Glazers have refused to fill. And they're getting through and they're getting onto the pitch. Hammer, come on, tell me about these things. Tell me what you're about to say.
Well, so I just wanted to say, I don't know, how is Bleacher Report a thing that's popular over by you guys over there?
Yes, it is. Yeah, a bit virally. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got, I have Bleacher Report, and I don't remember them saying anything the last protest that we did. And unfortunately, the headline is "Videos Emerge of Manchester United fans protest after they invade Old Trafford," but the entire article is about the Glazer ownership.
Let me just quickly, sorry guys, let me just quickly get a quick video on scene. I'm just trying to find this video here. You can see the comment that I've got on screen, and I've got a video actually to accommodate it. Sorry. So let me just quickly find it. Yes, I am seeing videos and reports that fans inside the stadium. Again, we were wrong to mention the use of word mob mentality, apparently, of people throwing cameras, breaking microphones. Ultimately, Sky Sports have taken some damage today to their equipment because of what's been happening inside the ground. Let me just quickly get the video up for you guys now. Just want to grab it here. United Updates have just shared it. So I want to share this with you guys. I think this was on NBC a little while ago of a fan. It's just not the way, is it not, to send the next These are the scenes I don't like. Like these are the scenes that I don't like.
This is exactly my point.
This isn't just a dig at that fan there. Like apparently it's many microphones, many equipments. Brad, maybe I can bring you in here. Ultimately, Sky are there doing a job, and ultimately, I know these fans want to get heard. But scenes like that's what would get that person repercussions. Will taint the fan base and taint this protest.
Well, I think that's the sort of thing that can kind of direct the original message of this protest away from the main point of the whole day. You know, these Manchester United fans want to make it known that they want the Glazer ownership to leave the club, and these scenes will probably start to grab the papers tomorrow morning of, you know, protesters turning violent. That's what the headlines will probably be, and it will divert away from the Glazers out protest, and it will divert away from the message actually being heard. So, you know, I said last weekend that when I was reporting on the protest last weekend, that there were fans there that were genuinely wanted to get their voice heard and wanted to voice their concerns about the club. And it seems as though today people have almost seen it as a day out. You know, there's been people turning up with crates of beer, which is just like a match day sort of vibe. And, you know, maybe people are just there for the so-called clout. You don't know. But, you know, people from last week, it seemed as though, to me at least, as I was there, that they genuinely wanted to get their message across and get their views across, that they are not happy with the Glazer ownership and that they will not accept their apology for the European Super League.
Mm-hmm. Brad, I'll come back over to you for an update in a minute. Brad's a reporter at Vavel, has covered many games at Old Trafford, and his phone's going off the hook right now. But Laurie Whitwell's just tweeted, groundsman inspecting the pitch for possible damage. I'm not sure how they can do that whilst fans are still in the stadium. We were hearing about 10 minutes ago that more fans got in. Reports of broadcast cameras being smashed. We've just seen some videos. Serious doubts over the match going ahead. Laurie Whitwell is now reporting that. Brad, I know you say that you've got a couple of updates. You can put them in a private chat if you want to tell everyone.
Yep. So basically, at the minute, there is no sign of players leaving the Lowry, or in fact anybody leaving the Lowry from either exit. The buses are still outside, and it is believed that there are police reinforcements on the way to Old Trafford at the minute. The protest is still going strong, but people it's starting to thin out, is what the Manchester Evening News are now reporting, on the outside of Old Trafford, that is, at least. Whether they are thinning out to try and get to a different area of Manchester and block off the buses, that's yet to be determined. But there's also chats between the club and the Greater Manchester Police about whether this game can go ahead.
I also want to hit on something else. Adam Stott has just tweeted, who's a friend of the channel. Jarvis, I'm going to come back over to your comment in a second, my friend, because we love you here. But ultimately, you know, I want to respond to that in just a second. I just want to go over to what Adam has just posted. I'll share the audio as well. Let's have a quick look at his tweet. Getting a bit edgy here. Bottles going in on the police. Obviously, scenes like this, we can't actually condone. Let's have a voice, let's shout, let's chant. But as I said earlier on, when it comes to being in the stadium, I think fair enough, you've made some noise, you've got in the stadium. Throwing a flare at the Sky Sports stand wasn't needed. Throwing cameras onto the pitch. Jarvis, I see what you're saying there. A couple of Sky Sports cameras is nothing compared to what the Glazers have robbed our club. It's time to take a stand. 100%, let's take a stand. But if you're causing damage to take a stand, I don't think it makes you better than anyone. That's just my opinion, and we can all have our own opinion. That's just my opinion, and people on the panel might disagree with me, and we'll come over and hear from them in a second. First of all, I want to play the video that Adam's tweeted here. I'll leave these scenes on. I'm just getting a tweet. I've just had a text sent to me. Apparently, loads of fans have literally just come out of the stadium. And they think that might be the last of them. So the fans now apparently out the stadium. There will be a inspection. Michael Oliver was denied access to the ground. Apparently, he is now in the ground, as are officials. So ultimately, no COVID bubble has been breached there, but it's what happens next that we all wonder. Guys, I just want to take a quick moment to say we're all passionate Reds. I can see you guys in the live chat. You're passionate Reds as well. Everyone who's watching right now is standing in solidarity with those protesting peacefully in a safe and secure way outside Old Trafford right now, getting the message across that we want the Glazers out. If you're a passionate Red, we'd love you to come and join us on more shows. Please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and get in the live chat and tell us where you are watching from. Brad, I don't know if you've had this through, but again, I've just been told that a whole load of armed police have just turned up at Old Trafford. And that currently is a scene. As you see from this video, though, maybe, Jeff, I'll come over to you. I mean, I don't know if anything like this has ever happened in the Philippines or how many protests you've watched. That police presence is shite.
Yeah, they're pretty laid back, if you ask me. And even earlier, like, they're just letting people onto the pitch. I don't know if that's police or Old Trafford security or just stewards. But at least the police ain't getting violent, because in the States here in Manila, police can get violent for no reason at all, you know. So I commend the police there. They're just maximum tolerance. So they don't deserve what the crowd's doing to them, like getting outflanked from the behind, and then we see bottles flying to their direction. So kudos to them. They're not making the situation worse. That's what I would say. But at least, you know, they're letting them do their thing. But you know, guys, don't hurt them. They're just doing their job, and maybe they don't like the Glazers too. So don't hurt them, guys.
What are your thoughts on these scenes, Hammer? Oh, Hammer, are you there? I think you're muted, bro.
Yeah, I'm muted. My bad. I mean, I think the issue is when you start doing damage, right? Like I understood, and I know I was somebody who I'll agree. I didn't agree with the Carrington invasion and that happened in the last protest, but I think if they would have gotten onto the field and simply protested, like what we saw with the green and yellow flares going off, I think that was a powerful image to be in Old Trafford. But once you start doing what some of them did and start breaking cameras and things like that, that's where, you know, I saw a lot of people in the comments talk about crossing lines. And I just wanted to reply to somebody. Red Devils report. I'm not being arrogant. I think I'm not being arrogant about it. I think the big difference to try to compare the Capitol Hill riots here in the States compared to the riots that are going on for Old Trafford is a little bit of a reach. You know, yes, they're both unprecedented, but that was like the Capitol Hill riots was invasion of a political building while they were political officers in there doing political things. So I think that's what I was saying.
National security.
Let's not reflect. I think
I'm sorry. I just wanted to respond to what he was saying. But yeah, I think these protests I think they are going to make the point they need to. But it is at a risk because of those people who want to start breaking shit. And, I think it's going to work out. I think, I know some of you guys are saying the Glazers might not be listening, but when you have this amount of people and this amount of coverage being happened on, even if some of the headlines might not be great, it's going to start affecting their pocket at some point. And that's when they're going to start listening.
Reports coming in. Mike McGrath has said a group of Manchester United supporters gained access to Old Trafford via a side exit door in the disabled section of the ground. So that is where they managed to find space. There is now tweets. I think Mike Parrott has tweeted, who's part of the Muppeteers, has tweeted a video of now the police are now stood directly out of that door and are actually guiding fans out of the stadium. So fans are now coming out of the stadium. You're seeing the scenes on the scene outside Old Trafford just a moment ago. We've lost our live feed because to be precise, and I'll tell you exactly why, 4G is crap in and around Old Trafford. It is just awful. Mark can vouch for that. Anyone who's ever been to Old Trafford, Brad can vouch for that. Tell you what, mate, getting those match reports over, if you have to use a 4G line, must be a nightmare, Brad, I tell you. But ultimately, is awful at Old Trafford. Also, Old Trafford does not have Wi-Fi. It's really interesting. There's loads of reports. Brad, do you want to give us a little update of what you know, what you've seen? Oh, wait a second. Lineups have been announced. Wow. Okay. Lineups have just been announced. I suppose I'll read out the lineups for you if the game's going to go ahead. Man United will play Henderson in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred McTominay in midfield, Pogba, Fernandes, Greenwood with Rashford up front. Liverpool will play with Addison, Alexander-Arnold, Phillips, Kabak and Robertson. Fabinho, Milner, Thiago in midfield and Mane, Salah and Fabinho up front. Brad, team users, they're not even in the stadium. They haven't even left the hotel.
Well, I believe that's from Frederick. Are you seeing that from Frederick?
I'm seeing a Sky Sports branded team news go from their app.
Well, that will have been prepared from around about 1 o'clock. To be fair, so that could be a scheduled post.
But don't they usually hand over team sheets anyway to like journalists and stuff inside the stadium as and when it's ready to? Does all this happen? See, that this is the stuff we don't know about. That's how I thought team news was announced.
No, well, yeah, you do get a team sheet at Old Trafford once you're there, but normally you get it a bit earlier. But I think I'm now seeing a graphic that's been released.
Yeah, everyone here, quite a lot of the reporters who are meant to be at the game today are reporting the team news. So can we
I gotta jump off, guys. I'll keep watching, but great show, great coverage. Keep it going.
Same here, man. Yeah, man. Speak to you in a bit. Yeah, thank you, mate. What does that say about the game, Brad? And also, sorry, you did put in the live chat. You've got a couple of updates as well, so feel free to hit on those.
Yeah, well, basically, the game could still go on because of the fact that protesters did not breach the most important part of the red zone, which is the dressing rooms. If they managed to get down the tunnel, then that would almost have put the game completely off. But they didn't. They didn't even bother to go to the change rooms. It looked as though Sky's broadcasters being positioned where they were may have just saved the day almost. Maybe their cameras had to take a hit, but it looked as though that prevented them from running down the tunnel as they were a little bit distracted. But that is the basic worry at the minute, is the COVID breach. But apparently it's not. The bubble has not been burst, is what someone told me, because of they have not been able to get into the changing rooms.
I'm also hearing, Brad, I don't know if you've heard the same. I've just had a text come through saying that it's been estimated that cleaning will take 90 minutes.
Yes, that is what I've also seen, which would suggest if they can get everyone out of the stadium, that you're looking at a 5:30 kickoff, because you'd have an hour and a half from now. That takes you to 5 o'clock, doesn't it? And if they started to clean at 3, that's 4:30. And then you give them a half an hour to get there. Maybe 6, 6:30 kickoff, maybe 7, or they might just wait it out for the fans to disperse. But You know, like we said, the Lowry, they have still not left. The team buses are still outside of the hotel, and they are not ready to leave yet. And they probably won't leave until they deem it safe enough. Because why would they leave? They're safe in the Lowry at the minute. You know, they're not going to come out and risk the team bus or any players' safety.
If it's okay for you guys, get in the live chat. I'll put some in there. Are you okay to stay on for a bit, Brad? Is that all right? Feel free to just give me Cheers, man. Really appreciate that. I'm just going to go over to some videos that I found online. So obviously we saw that fans obviously got into the stadium earlier on, and we heard that a corner flag was stolen, and there was a corner flag stolen, and here it is outside the stadium now. Something tells me that corner flag is going to pop up again in the future, and be a huge part of memorabilia from these protests. Guys, loads you watching right now. Let's make some noise. Get in the live chat. Any message you want to send to the Glazers, what you make of these scenes. Do you think the game will go ahead? Smash that subscribe button as well. We're all passionate Reds here. We try and do things a bit different to other fan channels, and hit that like video as well. If you want to say and you want to come on the show, I will share the number with you. Let's get it on here. All you've got to do is call me in the studio. It's a UK number. It's 0114 360 9434. That's 0114 360 9434. If you give me a call, I will get you live on this show, and you can have your say on everything going on. I don't quite know what's going on. There's so many things going on here at the moment. Is there a game tonight, Brad?
Let me have a quick look. I should know this, but I think because is United the last game or
ultimately, obviously, this game.
Yeah, Tottenham Sheffield United at 7:15.
Am I right in saying that those two fixtures though cannot clash?
Well, I mean, maybe due to unforeseen circumstances that they can, but it's all about TV rights now, isn't it? And which has probably sparked a lot of this debate in hindsight. Whether it goes ahead, this game will have implications on Manchester United. You know, you can expect there to be statements about United coming out, maybe not directed towards them, but at least towards supporters, and there will be a statement from the club. You'd expect there to be a statement, because if they remain silent on this, then who knows, there might be 50,000 next week. You know, you'd expect a statement similar to the European Super League one, but don't expect anything from the Glazers.
Yeah, 100%. We just had a caller bring up and all of a sudden hang up on us. Who wants to come on the show right now? Give us a call. Standard local rate is charged at. We won't keep you on too long anyway, so it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. We just want to hear your thoughts on the protest. We want to hear how you feel as a Man United fan seeing these scenes. And also, we want you to send a clear message to the Glazers. Make some noise. Be heard. Come on, All for United this afternoon. The number is 0114 360 9434. Let's stand in solidarity with those Reds chanting outside the stadium. 0114 360 9434. Come and get yourself on the show. I really, really want you to come on and have your say. I really want you to come on and speak your mind. Brad's just popping off and getting a drink. I also want to bring some more videos up. There is a lot of talk online at the moment about the current state of things that are going on. We've just had a caller come through, so let's get them live on the show, shall we, and find out where they are. If you could quickly mute your stream, pal, that would be really, 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 really appreciated, as you have done. So let's bring you into the show. Hello, what's your name and whereabouts are you?
Tyrone,
whereabouts are you, pal?
from Manchester.
Oh, Manchester. How are you doing? And what do you make of the scenes that you've been seeing on the All for United stream this afternoon?
I just want them out.
Yeah.
Glazers out.
Yeah, you want the Glazers out. I tell you what, though, what do you make of the players getting on the pitch? Oh, sorry, what do you make of the fans getting on the pitch? Sorry.
It's mixed thoughts, isn't it, Cairo?
Yeah.
Oh, Kyra, sorry, I got your name wrong. Kyra, sorry, I really do apologise.
It's called Cairo.
Cairo, sorry, it's all a little bit over the place.
He's 9, but he's a massive football fan, and he just said he wants to call in and just.
Oh, Cairo, you're a legend.
He's supporting everything that's going on. He wants to go down there, but it won't be safe.
Well, let me ask you this question, Cairo. As much as you obviously want the Glazers out, you're fed up with all this. Are you a bit disappointed that you might not be able to watch Man United Liverpool a bit later on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you've planned your day around that today, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, bless you, Kyra. Go on, the floor is yours. Say whatever you like. Everyone's listening. Everyone's watching right now. We want you to lead our virtual parade.
The Glazers.
Yes, Kyra. Yes, you legend. Look, you're a panelist in the making for All for United. Thank you for coming on, my friend. And take care. Thank you for calling. Bye-bye. Speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. That is what it's all about. Ring the studio. Cairo, 9 years old, wanted to have his say. Listen to that. 0114 360 9434. Give me a call quickly now. There's space for you to come on the show. Come in. Come and have your say. Norma says that is brilliant. It was brilliant, wasn't it? I want the Glazers out. I love that. United Glazers, time now is enough. Time to go. There's loads going on here. In the live chat. I'm trying to get through as many as I can. Guys, please make sure if you want to ring, you ring that number now. And let me get it back up on the screen for you. Let's get one other fan on right this second. No excuse. Grab your phone. Call this number 0114 360 9434. You can call from anywhere around the world. I would love to have you on and to hear your thoughts on the Glazers, your thoughts on the protest today, and also your thoughts on fans getting inside Old Trafford. Come and get involved with the show. Right, let's take this call here. We've just got to quickly get you in the stream, my friend. Let's add you in. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name's Viking Red Kid, yeah. I was there last week. We had about 2,000 there last week. And today it's just gone mental, kid. It's been 16 years of crap.
Mm-hmm. What have you made of the scenes? How has it made you feel as a Red?
Yeah. You know what it is, kid? I've had to leave that ground for 16 years. I took my lad there as well. And what it is, kid, I've had to go to Burnley and Accrington to watch them instead of going to... I'm not going to give the Glazers anything. Mm-hmm. But today, I'm so proud of being a Man United fan. It's actually making me want to come back, kid. When they've gone, then I'm going back to my beloved home, kid.
Yeah.
Because this is the problem. So many fans are working class fans. I used to go there when I was a kid. I'm 50-year-old. I used to go there as a kid. And I used to follow United home and away. And these Glazers have killed the game, kid. They've made me sick, kid. I've had mates that formed up FC United. And because of these scumbags, kid, yeah, I'm so proud. I'll get my club back, kid.
How much do you wish you were there today, though? I know you was there last week. How much do you wish you were there today?
You're right, fella. I'm disabled, you see, and I was there last week with my lad, and I've never felt so happy meeting the likes of you YouTubers. I met Flex, I met them all, kid. Adam Matic and that, Saeed and that, Nuruddin. But today, it's been brilliant, kid. We won them out, kid. This scumbag have ruined this club, took away the pleasure of supporting the biggest team in the world, right? Turned our stadium into a laughing stock, yeah? You go to Burnley, you see brand new seats, you see a Palatronic that's bigger than our club, kid. We're supposed to be the biggest club in the world. We're a joke, mate. We're a joke. I live in Yorkshire, kid. As you can tell, I get it from everywhere in Yorkshire. And this is a problem, kid. Being a United fan in Yorkshire, you get it from everywhere. I met Paddy Crellin years ago, and he turned around and said to me, them lads that live in Yorkshire are the true Reds because they get the shit non-stop. And this is a problem, kid. This is the greatest day I have seen in my life, kid. If I die tomorrow, this is what United means to me, kid.
Yeah.
Green and gold, Newton Heath, the history of the club, Sir Matt, Alex Ferguson, Roy Keane. He said it years ago, kid, Prawn Brigade, and he got laughed at. Right? And every true United fan knows, kid, if they spent the money, now we're the laughing stock. Because, like the Liverpool and City fans have pity on us. Even I've got mates who are Arsenal fans, and even they have to have a laugh at us, kid, because we're nothing now, kid. And I'm glad that the younger generation at United are going to put them back where they belong, kid. And that's all I've got to say, kid. Fuck the Glazers. United are coming, lads. And you City fans, you better watch out, mate. Because if MBS gets in from Saudis, you're knackered, lad. Because he's bigger than Qatar. That's all I'm saying, mate. We get proper owners, or we get a 50+1. I hope every Man United fan puts £100 in his pocket. There's 350 million plus of us, kid, and get that club to 50+1.
Mate, drop that mic. I could not have said it better myself.
Up your channel, kid, yeah? And
Thank
I
you,
respect you, lads, kid, because I'd rather pay my licence fee to Man United.
Yeah, mate.
I love you, mate. Great show.
I couldn't have said it any better. Thank you, man. 100%. And if this game happens tonight, we're going to freaking do the Scousers in. I cannot wait for it. What a day that would be.
You know what's making me laugh, kid? I feel what's making me laugh. You've got City fans ringing in. We're ex-Scousers and Leeds fans, yeah, crying about this game.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine what a day it would be if we beat the Scousers, City don't win the league, and everything's happened what's happened today?
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be one of the greatest days.
I don't blame Ollie and the lads at the team, But this is a problem, kid. Us fans have got to unite. I'm not Ollie in or Ollie out.
Mm-hmm.
If we all stick together after today, kid, yeah, and we know the scum of the club is the Glazers. You lads, yeah, are the future of this club. Don't blame Ollie. We know it's money, kid, and money rules now, and the working man can't get there anymore, kid, because what they've done is they've screwed everyone that wants to go to United, kid, and you can't get in, kid, because one person can give up a season ticket, but 5, 6 people are waiting to take it. This is the problem, kid. This is the problem with that club, kid.
Yeah,
and this is why we're knackered.
Listen, pal. Look, listen, Viking Red. This is what this channel is all about. What you've just come on and done there is what it's all about. Yeah. Please send me a DM. Yeah. I'd love to get you on again. Your passion speaks volumes, my friend.
I appreciate that, my friend.
Please do send me over a DM.
And good luck. And up United and fuck the Glazers. See you later, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. Cheers, what a legend, Viking Red. I could actually speak to him all day. What a guy! And everything there, what he said was absolutely spot on. Look, we've got another call coming in, so I really want to transfer quickly. I'll tell you what, though, this caller is going to find it difficult coming in after us. Who's there? And everything there, what he said was absolutely.
Hello.
Oh, hello, pal. Can you mute your stream for me quickly, please? Because there's a really, really big echo. I'm just going to quickly remove you whilst you mute your stream, and then we'll get you back in. There you go. You've done it there. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Shah. I'm ringing from High Wycombe.
Hey, pal. How are you? How do you feel seeing those scenes today?
Mate, it's like these Glazers, right, over the last, what is it, since they've been in since 2000, early 2000, when they had Sir Alex, all that time that was winning trophies and stuff, that was all just basically down to the genius of Sir Alex. And even then, when he was in charge, we missed out on a lot of players like Hazard, Alexis Sanchez. There was many more we missed out. Michael Ballack, Essien. And since Fergie's left, we've got Man City winning loads of trophies now. You've got Chelsea, who are now spending. You've got, who else is there? Liverpool have just won their first trophy in like 30 years. And now here's us. We was meant to go for Jadon Sancho last summer. And what happened? Joel Glazer didn't want to get him. He didn't want to strike the agreement. So now we're stuck in the shit. And now these fans have protested, which I'm very proud of. And I think we should be doing this not just now. I think the Glazers will probably sit back and probably relax about all this and say, look, let it happen for a couple of weeks or a month and then it'll all die down. But we need to do this every single time we've got a game at home. We need to come out here and cause a protest to give this club a bad image. That's the only way to get them out.
Can I just interject slightly? 100% agree with everything you've got. I've got a bit of news. Jeff Shreves has been on Sky Sports today, just a moment ago, and has said that we've just been told, so Sky Sports have just been told, officially by the Premier League, who are in communication with Manchester United, that kick-off for today's game against Liverpool is going to be delayed. It will not kick off at 4:30 this afternoon. There is no revised kick-off time as of yet. All parties working together to make the game happen today, mainly due to the fixture congestion over the coming weeks. There is no space for the game to be played, so it has to happen today.
Mate, I'll be honest with you. I'll be very surprised if the game went ahead. I just think there's so many fans, and I think the game not going ahead today will be the best thing that can happen. I know we all want it to go ahead and stuff. And I know we're all tuned in for days, but I think this will make a big statement that if the game doesn't go ahead, it will just annoy the Glazers even more. So I think we've got to keep doing this, even if it means there's no games till the end of the season. We just got to keep going at it, because at the end of the day, we don't want. We need to force the Glazers' hands, and the only way we're going to do that is by. I know there's fans throwing around stuff in the stadium and stuff, and things like that. I don't think that should happen, but we've just got to keep forcing the Glazers' hands, and we need someone like, I don't know who, some billionaire like Elon Musk or whatnot, to come in and just buy us out or something. I don't think the club is worth $4 billion for what's invested in the club. I don't think that there needs a lot of improvements in the club. I think whoever buys the club is going to be someone that actually loves the club and that's got passion for the club. I don't think it's going to be someone that's going to come in to buy it just because they want their money out of it. I don't think that's going to happen, because I think the price tag on there that the Glazers put on there is got to be for someone that's going to come in like Sheikh Mansour at Man City. It's got to be someone like that that's coming and just got to put money in it. I think this club needs a lot of money behind it to get back to where it was. We need at least 300 million in the summer, and then on top of that, we need the stadium sorted as well. We need to get all the stadium renovated. We need to expand it and stuff. That should have been done a long time ago, but the Glazers have removed like over $1 billion out of the club. And I mean, every summer we get this in transfers where we're always haggling over who we're going to sign and how much we're going to pay. I mean, last year we could have got Jadon Sancho in. I mean, it would have made such a difference this year, but we didn't, because we didn't want to pay. And now this summer, what's going to happen? We might even lose him to someone else, and then what? And then we're back in the shit again. I mean, all these players that you see on the team now, people criticise Pogba, criticise so and so, but the thing is, no one's actually allowed to like relish themselves because the Glazers not investing, they're just throwing them in the deep end and just paying a salary, and all they care about is top four. They don't give a shit about if we win the league. As long as revenue's coming in, the sponsors coming in, that's all the Glazers care about. They don't care if we win the league. Even if you say to them, look, 200 million this summer, we'll challenge for the league. They don't care. They'll rather put in half of that just so we can finish in the top four. So I think the ambition isn't there from the Glazers, and I think the fans have just got fed up of it now. It's just been going on for too long now. I mean, every season the fans talk about progress. I mean, we've heard that since, I don't know how long it's been. We've heard that since Fergie's left, and it's just the same thing all the time. The players getting blamed, managers going in and out. I just think, look, the time is now. If you look at when Man City, like all the owners took over, and look at their squad they had, right? And the moment they took over, they started putting in bids for Robinho, the David Villa, Yaya Toure. And look what happened from there. They built an era where they started buying players like Sergio Aguero, and then Mancini was winning the league. And even that time when Fergie was there, you could almost see like they were going to take over. It was just that season we had with Robin Van Persie, and then that Sir Alex, he had his genius behind it that was just winning us the league. But you could see that it was tilting towards that way. It was going on the other side of Manchester. I think Man City are here to dominate for many years, and I think even like people say, oh, why did they get rid of Aguero? But no one knows what's happening behind the scenes. We don't know if they're going for Mbappe. I mean, they've got plans in place before the summer. We don't have any of that. We don't have footballing people at the club. Even when Patrice Evra said, oh, Man United can't attract players because they've got people like accountants that go and meet players and talk to clubs. Like, no one actually takes us serious anymore. Like nowadays, I don't even think players care about what club they go to. They just want to go to a club that can win trophies. And unfortunately, we're not a club now that can win trophies.
Yeah, and ultimately we won our Manchester United back, and Manchester United need to come back again. Mate, we've got some updates coming in, so we need to cross over to those. Any final words, pal?
Keep going. I mean, don't be so disappointed if the game goes off. I know we all want it to go on, but we've got to force the Glazers' hands. And I mean, I can't see the game going on, but I mean, I think the club do, but there's just so many fans. I mean, just keep going, mate. It's
a bit crazy, isn't it? Well, mate, thank you so much for your call. Take care. Really appreciate you being part of this. What a fantastic caller yet again. We're getting some fantastic calls in. I'm hoping I'm going to get an update from Brad in just a second. We're taking a few more calls here. Let me add one more in. I'm going to have to make this one quick, my friend. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
My name's Nicola. I'm in Aberdeen. I have football in my DNA because my father played the game. And I'm interested. I am a Liverpool supporter. Have been since the days of Kenny Dalglish. That shows you my age. But I am also interested in football survival. I'm interested in things that are for the benefit of football as a whole, not just Liverpool Football Club, to let you understand where I'm coming from. And I think it is absolutely vital, there is no doubt about it, that as many supporters as possible, get into the football stadiums, behave peacefully, which I have seen protests in England being all along, and that thrills me because we must get rid of the capitalist system. And I am not a racist. In any shape or form. I
always get worried when someone says that. I never know what's coming next.
I understand where you're coming from that point of view, because every time Nigel Farage says I'm not a racist, he is a racist. Well, absolutely.
Just to quickly bring this back to the football, you said you're a Liverpool fan. Will you be disappointed if this game doesn't go ahead today? Do you realise that for us Manchester United fans, as some would say, as an argument would be, I've got to cross over in a moment really quickly to Brad, who's here, and he's going to give us an update of what's going on with the game. So make sure you keep watching. We've got some big updates happening as we speak, and we're going to say them in a minute. What are your thoughts on if the game gets cancelled?
Cut in at that point if you're in a hurry. Sorry to do that, but if you're in a hurry, no, I think it would be the best thing that could happen if the game does not go ahead. We must deprive these capitalists these foreigners who have come in, they've got no idea what football means to the fans in this country. For instance, me, I would rather jump off a cliff than get rid of football, which is potentially what could be happening if we just let this issue die on the vine. You know, we cannot let that happen. We must keep up the protest, and we must get as many fans as possible protesting to get these capitalist owners who are only in it to see football as a cash cow for themselves.
Yeah.
We must get them out. And we must, the point I really came on to make is we must make sure it is vital. There is no question about it at this point now, because otherwise football is going to die. It is going to disappear from this country. We must have football supporters on the boards of football clubs and taking ownership of football clubs, including the likes of Manchester United, Liverpool. And can I just say also, as an Aberdeen fan, because I am in Aberdeen, I absolutely love Alex Ferguson. He was ruthless. He's a very nice man, you know, in his personality, but oh my God, he is ruthless. He was ruthless as a manager.
Well,
and he adopted very much the idea, which I support. Attack is which the Germans have always adopted, as far as I can see, which is attack is the best form of defense.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. No, we've got to end it out. I'm sorry, my lovely. I'm so sorry, but 100%. Everything you said is so valid. Thank you for watching. And if one good thing's come out of all of this, it's that us fans can stick together. And ultimately, I love the fact that we're doing that.
You know, fans must unite. Fans must unite.
100%.
This is what I think football
And here we
can
are.
do. And make sure that fans take over ownership and make sure they get on the boards and have the majority on board, so that we can make the decisions
100%,
which are in the best interest of the football club.
100%.
You know?
And on that, let's go and find out about today's
Take the money out of it. Take
100%.
the money out of it.
Thank you so much for calling in, my lovely, and thank you for watching the live stream. And there we are. We're getting together. We're getting thoughts from Liverpool fans and the thoughts there from Aberdeen. Thank you so much for coming on. There's loads of calls coming in. I'm hoping Callum's going to ring in from Old Trafford in just a second. We're 2 minutes away from an update, Brad. Give us everything you know.
Yeah, so we're expecting an update in 2 minutes, like you said, at 4 o'clock, but we do understand that the team buses are being readied. That's the word that's being used about the team buses at the Lowry. It also being reported that the protesters at the Lowry have dispersed and the team buses are being ready with police vans surrounding them. So whether that means a police escort, we are yet to find out, but this game is not happening at 4:30.
Interestingly enough, I'm seeing a few bits and pieces on here. A police helicopter has now landed at Old Trafford. A lot more police reinforcement in and around the stadium. I just don't understand why these police are shocked. I don't understand why the club is shocked. Ultimately, a press release was put out the other day saying that there's going to be approximately 10,000 Manchester United fans protesting, and they weren't expecting it. And that's why this has happened. We showed videos earlier on of the scenes at Old Trafford with about 6 police officers stood in front of the entrances. That's not going to do anything, and nor should that be adequate enough for those police officers to be able to support this protest. It's absolutely crazy. Crazy. Air ambulance is just in landing at Old Trafford. I don't know if that's an air ambulance, Kian, or if that's actually a police helicopter.
It was an air ambulance.
Oh, it was an air ambulance
instead of a police helicopter. So unsure of what's happened there. But if there's an air ambulance, that normally suggests something bad has happened.
Getting some reports, and obviously we'll hear this. That 6:30 is being discussed as a kickoff time. Now, we all know, Brad, you've mentioned this a few times, people are coming into the stream, leaving, coming into the stream at different times. Sorry if you're listening to this and Brad's potentially repeating himself, but just in as simplistic context as you can in short form, could you quickly just hit on the COVID breach that has been made today, what that means and how long it's going to take to rectify that?
Well, it depends on where the COVID breach has in fact taken place. If they have made if the protesters did make their way into the dressing rooms, then that could put the whole match in jeopardy. But the report was that they didn't make their way into the dressing rooms. But obviously these are all rumours; these are not confirmed reports whatsoever. But basically, you have a red zone at Old Trafford, just like any other Premier League game. You do have a red zone, amber zone, and then there might be another one called green. I suspect there's a green one, but I've never really come into play with a green one. But the red zone is for the likes of people, Jeff Shreves, Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville, and the players are all red zones. They have little COVID passport things to sign in with their red codes. And the amber zone is where I am in the press box, where you sit at your table and report from the game. But the fact that the red zone seems to have been breached with players on the pitch is a worry, and it could. The rumor is it could take up to 90 minutes to sanitize everything that's been touched. Footballs, goalposts, maybe even parts on the ground where they've been walking across. You just don't know. But this game will not happen at 4:30, and the 4 o'clock announcement is still yet to be made. So a minute late on that. But the referee has arrived. Michael Oliver is inside of Old Trafford, but there is no update on where the Liverpool team are. Everyone's focusing on the Manchester United team and the referee, but there is no news circulating around the Liverpool team as of yet. But let's thing is the United bus is being readied.
Well, let's take another call quickly whilst we can. We'll keep a lookout for that report. Let's add this caller in. Hey, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Steve. I'm calling for Ireland.
Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
I'm good. Great, thanks.
What have you made of the scenes today then? Let's start with outside Old Trafford.
I thought it was absolutely amazing. The way the fans have come together, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. And what about inside Old Trafford? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm a bit disappointed with people getting in all right in a way, but I know that they're doing it in the right way. By showing us true colours, getting on Sky Sports, it's really getting the word out to the Glazers. They're not wanted here anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's just interesting, isn't it? There's such mixed opinion on this. I think ultimately, do you feel like today the fans have made noise, so ultimately the goal has been achieved?
Yeah, big time, I think, because it's really hit the nail on the head. The way the amount of people came out, over 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. I've never seen so many people going to a ground together like that. Mm-hmm. Even on match days, 2 hours, 3 hours before kick-off, they have to ground to protest like that. And with the songs and everything, it's been unbelievable.
Yeah, I completely agree. We're going to stay live for about another 15 minutes because I've got to head to work this evening, actually. And so we're going to stay live for about another 15. Maybe we'll stay live till 4:30. Ultimately, we want to see what's happening with the game. And once we've done that, we'll move. We'll also, if we have any more video, we'll bring that to you. We've got fans at Old Trafford. We'll get them on as well to see what's happening. Looks like it's calming down a bit, though, mate. So ultimately, I said, do you think the goal has been achieved? Ultimately, what is your message to the Glazers?
I think the goal has been achieved, and fans should keep at it until the Glazers really get the hint.
Mm-hmm.
They not want to rule our club for the last 16 years since they came. I've been supporting United since I was 3 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 35 years of age, so over 30 years I've been going to Old Trafford 6 or 7 times a year, as much as I can. And I've been sports all my life, through the good times and the bad times.
Mm-hmm.
Time for them to go, and it's time for the fans to take over.
Mm-hmm. I'm completely with you, my friend. Thank you for calling in. Hopefully, I hope you feel like you've been involved with the protest today by hanging with us and sticking with us. Thank you so much for coming on. Keep making noise. Subscribe to the channel. Be heard. That's what we're all about. We're all about making sure that international fans have a voice and they can be heard, no matter what situation we're in. Whether it's after a game, before a game, we're talking about topics to do with our club, or even protesting for the gooder and the better of our great club. That is what we're all about. Passionate fans being able to have their say. Right, we're waiting for this statement at 4 o'clock on the game. Ultimately, though, here's the live pictures at Old Trafford of just a few minutes ago. Brad, what's striking me almost immediately is there's still so many fans there.
Sorry, what was that? I just missed that.
No worries, mate. What's really catching me is that there's still so many fans there. Look at that. This video was taken about 3 minutes ago. And look, it's packed. It's absolutely packed.
Well, the strange thing is as well that they're not at the entrance where the buses will come in. That's nowhere near where the United buses and Liverpool buses are prepared to come in. I've not seen a single video today of that entrance. I've not even seen any pictures of anything being blocked potentially, which would make you think that with a police presence, the buses would be able to get to where they need to go. But the way that the players do enter is only on the opposite side of that Munich tunnel. You're probably looking at a couple, maybe 500 yards or so down that tunnel is where the players would be entering. So that's probably their worry at the minute. But yeah, like you said, there's still thousands of people there. Kickoff not happening at 4:30 now, and the bus is still being readied. Whatever that means by being readied, I'm not too sure. But there, the trouble at the Lowry. Protesters trying to get down a side road towards the hotel. Police have sprinted over and put up a fence, and batons have been raised.
I'm also seeing, mate, there's someone down there who's tweeting right now, and I've just seen his timeline. So 25, he's counted 25 police vans at the Lowry Hotel alone. No protesters, as I think what you've just hit on there, in and around the entrance to the Lowry, or the, so to speak, where the players will come out to get onto the bus. But as you've just mentioned there, protesters all around the streets. And that's the worry. I think this game going ahead now hinges on how many fans are on the route to the stadium, and whether people can get through and can get into, if the bus can get in and get through. I'm trying to see if I can get someone on who's actually down at Old Trafford to sort of tell us what the scenes are, to see what's going on.
Roy Keane just having a little joke about. He was saying, I think they were just aiming for Jamie with the flares. Pino.
I love that. We've got a call coming through. Let me quickly answer it. Let me quickly answer this call. I think it is. Let me quickly. I've got to come away from here and go on to here. Hi, is it Nat? Hey, Nat, how are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm good. I'm at the stadium. It's not as busy as it was before, but it's still busy. They're on the roof. I don't know if people are still on the pitch. I don't know if anyone knows. Basically, I'll tell you, the side of the Munich tunnel, just before you go down the Munich tunnel, there's obviously an entrance there where the away fans get in, and they just booted that door down, and everyone just ran on the pitch. Everyone, I'm sure, has seen the images of the pitch from the top and all that, but I think Gary Neville's saying it's respectful, and then people are saying it wasn't that, and then I think some people went round the other side. Obviously, we don't know when kickoff's going ahead, but it's delayed, of course.
Yeah,
they were in the boardroom.
I don't know how much you know, Nat, but just so you're updated, so definitely not on for 4:30. We're awaiting an announcement now.
Yeah.
Michael Oliver wasn't let in the ground. Now he's been let in the ground. I think ultimately this game now hinges on whether the buses can get in, because from what we're seeing and what we're hearing, there's fans all on the route ready to intercept the buses on the two routes, and there's a lot going on in and around the Lowry Hotel. So I think ultimately that's going to that's where it's going to hinge on whether this game goes ahead or not. But in terms of what you've seen, peaceful. We heard apparently when go on, carry on.
It's so. I've seen little bits of scraps. I've seen little people shouting, pushing each other. I've seen someone in a zebra kit and people started booting off, going, you're the problem, etc. But other than that, it's been peaceful. They're trying to break in somewhere now. I think they're breaking on the pitch again. I think, I don't know what's going on, but the police are coming around and they're using buttons. Oh my God, it's all kicking off. Oh my God, everyone's running now. Oh my God, I'm ready. Listen, it's booting off. Oh my God, they're throwing bottles at the police.
Nat, please get somewhere. Please get somewhere safe, my darling. Please get somewhere safe.
Off.
Please
booting off again. I don't think this game's going ahead. I cannot see how they're going to get it. Why it's booting right off.
Well,
I can't see it, me. I don't know. You guys know. You guys are seeing things.
Nat,
just
please,
from what I know.
Please, quickly. I don't know if you can hear me, Nat, but please get somewhere safe. Away from that.
I'm fine. I'm away, boys. I can't see. I don't know if this is just from what I've never seen this ever in my life, and I know like we never really, but to have fans running on the pitch when it's COVID, and I've heard that people were in the dressing rooms. Obviously they weren't now, but I don't understand how COVID you can have. You don't know what people. I'm not saying that they've got, but you know, how is that?
Well, so this is the thing that so we had Brad on from Vavel, who's a reporter, and he is telling us that all reporters have been told from Old Trafford that a serious red COVID breach has happened today, which means that ultimately it will take around 90 minutes to clean that and to make sure that this game potentially could go ahead. Now, we're being told that no one got in dressing rooms, but ultimately we haven't been told what that breach is in the full light of day. We've also heard that cameras have been broken. There's been a bit of damage to the pitch. We've seen that corner flags have been taken. Obviously did that. Obviously, within a protest, you've got a split second to make a decision. Do I join those people or don't I join those people? And ultimately, there was an opportunity for fans to make noise. So I'm not discrediting that. But what did you make of the pitch invasion?
I mean, when it started to happen, when I saw people first, then as people have seen, they pushed the barriers back. And then obviously, when everyone started to come from the other side, and then the barriers, when they started to move towards the Munich tunnel, I thought, I don't want to do that because I don't want to go past the barriers. But then I think that's not the issue. I think the issue was when they, like I said, booted the door and ran on the pitch. And I wasn't near that when that happened. I've just seen videos and heard of people, you know, witness testimony, I suppose, people saying, oh, this is what we did, this is what happened. You know, I think most people have run out. But then I do know there was people still in there, and that was only an hour ago. So for me, I don't understand how it can go ahead. But what do I know? And like I said, it's now booting off again.
Yeah, can you describe the scenes for us, Nat, quickly from what you're seeing?
Well, when I started to scream, it was, I don't know what happened, but it's like they tried to get in another door again, and then the police started to hit people with batons. Police have now really pushed everyone back again because I think there's basically there's about 20 odd police, and they've pushed. I think they're going to push everyone out now. I think because I think it went too far with throwing bottles at the police, because there's about 1,000 people here deep, and they started to throw bottles at police. So I won't be surprised. They're walking through the money tunnel of the police. So I won't be surprised and start to push everyone back. Like I said, there's still people on the roof where the train is. Oh, now they're throwing a barrier at the police.
Well, Nat, can I quickly ask you a question? Benny's just sent us a message saying it is now starting to kick off with fans and the police. I did see some tweets earlier on. Quite a lot of matchday Reds have already left. Quite a lot of people have already leaving or coming down. Ultimately, I can hear a lot of police helicopters. Has the atmosphere changed? Has the atmosphere really changed?
Yeah, everyone's leaving now because a large majority, I think the people who are going to be left now are going to be the ones fighting with police. And loads of police are running through now. I'm going, Ben. I'm going to have to get off.
Nat, go. Stay safe.
Wait. Bye.
Get safe. Look, it's not how we wanted things to end at Old Trafford today. But as we mentioned earlier on, I hope you're safe. But the first things first is I know a lot of people at Old Trafford today, and some people are still there. I really hope they are safe. The minority don't speak for the majority. So if there's people throwing bottles, there's people putting flares inside Old Trafford towards Sky Sports, we don't condemn that. We don't stand for that. I hope people go home safe tonight. Because if they go home with bruises on their bodies, because the police have obviously hit them and taken action, that's not what anyone wants. These are not, we don't want disgusting scenes at Old Trafford today. We want people to remember this protest by the fact that we made noise and we were heard. This is not the way we wanted it to go. I've been having a look through. I just wanted to get a couple more videos of what's happening today at Old Trafford up. Ultimately, we still haven't seen a statement. We thought a statement was going to release at 4 o'clock around whether the game today was going to go ahead. We've been on for ages. And I just want to get it up. By the looks of it, the police are getting control. I still think a big part of whether this game goes ahead or not hinges on, I know you've put a comment here, Ashar, hinges on whether the buses can get to the stadium. Because although they're starting to push fans away from the stadium and get fans away from that controlled area, I've still seen pictures and encouragement for people to leave the stadium and start lining the streets to block off the coaches. I just think, and I hope I'm wrong, because I really think fans have done fantastic today, and I'm really proud of the majority of fans there today. I think we've really made noise, and I think we've stood up, been counted, and we're going to be heard. We're really going to be heard, and action will need to be taken from this, whether that's the club releasing a statement or the Glazers saying that they saw it and just doing something. I don't know, but I think we've been heard today. But ultimately, I just think there's going to be another twist to this. I can't see it ending here. I just hope everyone at the stadium is safe and sound. I really, really do. And I hope this doesn't end really sour like it started to sound like it's going to there from that. Look, we've been live for ages now, but I just want to end the show on this one picture. I picked out one picture last week. I'm going to pick out one picture again. And that is this picture here that United Journal sent. Green and gold till we're sold. Glazers, it's done. It's done. You've heard, you've seen, you know the power of fan voice, and you know what we think and feel of your ownership. Enough is enough. We're Manchester United Football Club. We deserve better. Everyone who's been in the live chat today and on this stream, we're passionate Reds. That's what we're about. Giving fans a voice, making sure fans feel like they're being heard. If you want to be part of that community, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Ultimately, we are United fans. We love talking about our club. We love our football club. Change has to happen. And please let the iconic images of those outside the stadium today, peacefully protesting and spreading the word that the Glazers need to go, be the overriding image that we remember today's protest by. And the same with last week's. Reds, I'm going to sign out. We're going to have a review show straight after the Liverpool game. If you can join us for that, please do. We don't know what time that's going to be. If that's going to be today or next week, who knows? Thank you for watching. Please like the video. If you want to tell other people about us, please do. It's been a joy to be in your company today. And please, please, please keep making noise. The Glazers, you're not wanted around here. It's time to go.